not know that he had pneumonia.
Yeah.
What happened? When was that?
Mycoplasma pneumonia.
Oh, you did say that. You were home for a couple of days.
They said, go back to teaching. You're not going to get sick. And we get sick, Mycoplasma pneumonia. Thanks for the Z-Pack. And what's the other medicine we had?
How often do you take a Z-Pack?
It was 5 days. 5 day Z-Pack, Mucinex.
It wasn't like the Z-Pack, though, that you take 8 tablets when you get home.
It was just like one at a
One
time.
a day.
Okay. That's good. I don't take antibiotics ever. No. I don't really take medicine. So when I had staph, that shit got knocked. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that?
God.
Yeah, I had staph in my beard. Awesome. In here. My beard was burning. Like, what the fuck is going on? I had no idea what was going on.
How'd it feel?
Burny and itchy. Burny and itchy. And yeah, honestly. And so I shaved because I wanted to see what was going on, because I had ringworm a couple of times the couple of months leading up to that. And I looked in the mirror and I went, kind of looks like ringworm, but okay. So I stopped going to jiu-jitsu and I started just lathering on Lotrimin, because that's what you have to do on the ringworm, because it kills it after once you treat it for, I think it's 3 or 4 days. Once you treat it, I'm looking at him because he lays down every single time and then he kicks the tripods without fail. Why is your foot always on the tripod? Hi, baby.
He just wants some loving, baby.
Yes, be a lion there.
There he is.
So after 4 days, you're not contagious anymore, but you still want to apply and then go back once it's gone.
Yeah.
So I was just applying it like cake on my face 2-3 times a day. And then I moved. And then as I'm in the process of moving, it's like getting flaky and crusty. Wasn't good. It just wasn't a good situation. So I went to the dermatologist and he didn't even want to touch my beard.
No.
I'm like, come on, bro, put a glove on, just touch it. And he's like, yeah, no, it looks a little like staph. I go, come on, bro, just put a glove on, be a man, get in there. Yeah. Touch the staph. I'm paying this down payment. I'm paying this copay.
It feels like a down payment. Yeah.
How much is it? I'm like, please, bro, just touch it. Just touch it. So he wouldn't touch it, but it's not the first one. But anyway, so
yeah.
So then I had to take a antifungal pill, which is hard on the liver, evidently. He said it wasn't. I'm like, another doctor that just says, no, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Take this.
Yeah, take it. Nah. We rarely see that side effect, but online the forums are like, no, I hurt my liver, isn't that? So I took the antifungal and then I took an antibiotic for the staph. But because I never take anything like that, it was cleared up 3 days. It was gone. My beard was clear. I was, holy shit.
No more flakes.
Nothing. It was great. I was getting nervous, man. It was getting creepy.
From jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
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 Just rolling around all the time.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, staph and these fungal infections can live on your skin for 10 days. They could take to actually happen. So sometimes you don't even know. You think that it's from the night before when you rolled with somebody, and it's like it could have been a week ago. You have no idea. And unfortunately, a lot of people are covered up unless you do no gi, which is just the rash guards. But a lot of people are covered up in the gi, so sometimes they don't even see if they have a little spot of ringworm on the back of their arm unless somebody goes, yeah, hey, yo, get that checked out. So it sucks sometimes, but that comes with the territory of what it is. Everyone's got their own issues inside of their respective sports. With baseball, I mean, it was just everyone had their own equipment, so there wasn't really anything like that.
Own bags, and that was it. I mean, we had our gloves. College provided obviously bats and all that stuff, helmets. So we did share stuff like that, but no, for the most part, I mean, we had our own stuff. It was ours.
Hockey, I could imagine.
Hockey's disgusting.
I feel like the hockey funk jumps bag to bag in the locker room when they're out playing. Mm-hmm. It's just like the funk manifests in the center and it just goes back to all different bags. Like, I'm gonna go home with this guy. I'm gonna go home with this one.
Growing up, my cousin Matt played hockey, and he played what was equivalent to independent baseball, but he would travel all the time. And I remember we'd go over for holidays or just go out to hang out with him. Anytime we were in the garage, it would stink. And I'm like, What is that smell? He goes, it's my goalie gear. And he was a goalie. And I was like, what the heck is this smell, my guy? He goes, yeah, this is it. I was like, do you clean it? He goes, yeah, that is cleaned. I was like, whoa.
That was like the paintball stuff.
Yeah.
That was like some of the paintball gear.
Mhm.
If you didn't clean the paintball gear, the paint would just get funky. And then on top of it, sweat and everything that's already like in there. So I'm actually genuinely shocked I never got any type of an infection from that stuff. But what about softball? No, right? Same thing with
No,
baseball.
Same thing. It was, I feel like we were in middle school, high school, all of us, I guess, when like MRSA broke out for the first time. Everyone was freaked out about that in the locker room, but that was it. I mean, nothing. We had our own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
And you're not like trapped in equipment sweating, like you can breathe.
Sharing funk.
Yeah.
Sharing
Exactly.
funk.
Yep.
The longest piece of equipment you have is your glove.
Yeah.
And then you're washing your uniforms. Short period of time you have a helmet on.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the big problems with me when I had my last apartment is I had no washer dryer in there. And because it's like a ticking time bomb, you have to, if you put the gear, same with the hockey, if you put the gear away and you don't clean it instantly, it starts to roll over after days and then the funk bakes in.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of times where I had rash guards that you clean it and it smells perfect, like clean as hell.
Mhm.
The second you start rolling and sweating in it again, that original funk smell starts coming out and you go, oh, that's me. That's the rash guard. So the secret, if anybody's listening that doesn't know the secret, Johnny, shouts to Johnny, black belt Johnny at the front desk.
Shout out to Johnny at the front desk.
He's a beast. Yeah, Johnny at the front desk and on the mats beating everybody up.
Yep.
He told me, well, you want to get a big container, drum, whatever. I got the Yeti that you use for like baseballs for pitching practice. So I got one of those, and you get a bottle of Odaban, and you put a quarter full of Odaban, and then fill the rest with water, and you dump anything that stinks in there, and you put a lid on it for 2-3 days, and you just let it marinate.
Ugh.
And what it does is it actually eats away the organic material that's causing the smell. So it eats all that away. Then you put it in the washer, done. Funk be gone.
Doing that with our workout clothes when we get home.
The problem is, though, maybe you only want to do it for like 12 to 24 hours. The longer you leave that in there, the more you're getting that Goodwill Odaban smell. So
It's not the vibe.
it's not the vibe always. No, I like a nice lavender.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably endocrine disrupting, but I like a nice lavender or something. Like let me live, damn it. I want to just smell like a
good.
fresh meadow every now and then.
I want that Christmas vanilla flavor. That'd be
There's a Christmas vanilla detergent.
yeah. It has to be. Somebody
I
has to
didn't
make
know
it.
about this.
Is
Oh.
there? No,
That's what you want?
I want
You
it.
want your clothes to smell like Christmas?
Like right this second, right now.
Christmas vanilla.
Christmas vanilla,
I did get
or maybe
some-
it's like sugar cookie.
Maybe.
One of them. Do they have it?
Buff City came out with
Well, that's-
Christmas scents.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Buff City.
What's Buff City?
It's a
Listen.
soap company.
They're good?
And I also want to add every apartment in Charlotte has a washer and dryer. So just
Oh, he's
That's
just
He's already started.
trying to get me to relocate still. He's trying to get me to relocate.
I've been trying to get this guy down to
Y'all
Charlotte
y'all
forever.
don't need another New Yorker down there.
We do.
Nah, you don't.
Yeah, but you're a different breed, brother. You're a different breed. You are.
That's true.
You know what?
Welcome.
I want to go see Gladiator 2, but when I'm watching it, I'm probably gonna think about you the whole time.
Me?
Yeah, I think that's you. Like
No, that
we need
ain't
that
me.
in Charlotte, brother.
That-
we need that.
Where is this going?
Yeah, I got it.
Nick coming to
That's
Charlotte.
it. Come to Charlotte and we'll go see Gladiator 2.
He's gonna build the Coliseum,
And then we'll go-
come train at. Yeah.
and then we'll go look at apartments.
Listen, I have told you.
I know.
He probably sends them to you 5 times a week.
He stopped. He
I've
stopped
slowed down. I slowed down.
he stopped because I stopped answering. And it's not because I didn't want to answer. I would just see a message from Vinny, and I'm like, all right, it's either
Apartments?
Apartments.com.
it's either an apartment or it's a question about working out or
Yeah.
just saying what's up. And I'd look and it would just be an apartment link, and I'd literally go like this. All right, I gotta get back to editing.
On to the next.
I gotta get back to editing. So, I think I signed for 2 years, 3 years at my current spot. I don't know.
He's going to put it on the calendar.
That's fine. I'm putting it on the calendar.
Hey, listen, at some point,
No, I know.
and I've said this to Mom, I've said this to a lot of people. At some point, if Long Island is not the scene anymore, which it's shown that it is not in a lot of ways, if it has shown that it's not the scene anymore, I'm more than willing to look other places. However, I gotta go somewhere that I can make money. Until I'm making money doing this or something else that's more passive, that like it just makes me money when I just put content out and do things. I can't. I got to be where the money is, and right now the money is up here.
And
It is.
No, I agree.
All my local businesses. It's tough, man, when you have a very large overhead. You have a large overhead, and we can talk about this on the business side of things. for offices. Because listen, I mean, I couldn't fit all of this in my apartment. Even in a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom would still be stretching it. I couldn't. And I would like to downsize in a certain way, but at the same time, does downsizing also mean that I'm going to be more stuck in my ways of being small versus like, oh, you have an office space? At some point, I'd like to put somebody over there so they can edit while I'm out at shoots or whatnot. So it just becomes a there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. You just have to figure out what kind of works in the moment that you're doing it.
And timing is a big piece to that too. Like whatever step of life that you're in, it's going to cater you to one direction or the other. I mean, we talk about it all the time, and I think I just had this conversation with family. They were over on was it Thursday night, Friday night, and I was just saying, like, growing up on Long Island, it was Long Island or nowhere. And then all of a sudden, you obviously meet somebody or something happens in life, and you take a chance. And here we are, obviously living down in South Carolina now, but for sure. I mean, I'm with you, man. I hear
You're
you.
in North Carolina.
I know.
He's a stone's throw.
I know. It's
stone's throw.
It's a, what do we call it? We call it an extension.
Of Charlotte.
Extension of Charlotte, man. It's right there for sure. But yeah, everything's getting expensive now.
But that's the thing, and that was one of the big reasons that people would relocate.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily because they just hated where they were from. I mean, there's plenty of people that talk shit about where they're from, and you see it all the time. It's like there are people that live in North Carolina, they're like, fuck this place, I'm going to move to New York. And it's okay, sure. But then we're up here, and we live here our whole lives. We're like, fuck this place, we want to move there. So it used to be more so on the thought process of, well, if I move down south or I move to these other places that have just a better means to provide and afford things and be able to buy a house. But I mean, you look around and the prices are just
not much.
Grocery prices are grocery prices.
And you know what? Grocery prices are grocery prices on top of like the real estate used to be something that was of appealing nature. And I mean, I look at Florida all the time. Florida used to be somewhere that I really could see potentially going. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine it because it's too humid. All the natural disasters now.
It's heartbreaking to live there.
Dude, I'm not throwing all my money into a house and then, the flood insurance isn't covered the right way, or there wasn't a right T and crossed and a dot here and because that wasn't submitted 4 hours before. It's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. If a tree's not touching your house, it could touch your property, could break whatever you have on your property, but if it doesn't touch your house, insurance doesn't cover it.
No, it's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
And then you still have to pay your mortgage on your house that was destroyed and is no longer standing.
Yeah. So what do? I can't drive to work because there's no work anymore. No. Can't drive to work. I only have X amount of dollars in the insurance that's gonna pay for what just was damaged, ravished by natural disasters. And now I'm in a position where I have to figure things out. Do I stay? Do I go somewhere else? Where is there safer in Florida? My boy. Jeff keeps trying to get me to move down to Florida. I know Stahl's still in Orlando. Is he doing the relay?
Listen, Brandon Stahl, I have it now. It's time to make the move. It's happening at his time.
There's a trend of Vinny trying to get everyone to Charlotte.
I know.
No matter where they're at.
He's just trying to New York, Charlotte. And Charlotte does not want it to get more New York. So,
well, we've seen it with the tornado, or it was tornadoes and flooding from the hurricane that went through Asheville and the North Carolina mountains. I mean, like, our traffic has gotten so much worse since then because people, they don't have jobs anymore in Asheville. So whether their house is still okay or not, they're having to move to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what's happening? So they uptick in Charlotte now.
Yeah.
New tenants of my rental property, Asheville took away their business, like where the Neil is his name. His company is just gone. It's gone. So they uprooted to Charlotte, found my house, and here we are. Here they are setting up a new life in Charlotte.
And so what are they doing now?
Well, they found a job. They have a baby now. So they were just like, we got to get out of here. So yeah, they moved.
You have to provide for yourself and your family. I mean,
no, it's scary. It's scary shit. My biggest issue in life has always been, I need to know what's coming. I hate not knowing. And unfortunately, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you never know. Like, things could be astronomically amazing, or the next day everything could hit the shit could hit the fan and it's over. Like in layman's terms type of situation. And it's never over until you actually deem it like it's not recoverable. But everything has the ability to come back better, stronger, and in different pivoting motions. But a lot of times it's tough. There's a lot of days where you wake up and you're just like, fuck, it's like another uphill battle.
They finally just got electricity, but they're setting up new pipelines, right, for better water
Like
and
the
stuff
water
like that.
infrastructure was
Is
completely wiped out. So they're having to rebuild pipes, and then you have to run it for X amount of days so that it's safe to drink and safe to use. I mean, crazy.
And the betterment of it, like the people coming together of Charlotte. I mean, it was beautiful to see. I just shout out Glory Days clothing company right in Charlotte. They raised $30,000. I mean, upwards of $35,000 just on T-shirts and sweatshirts. And then we had what was the name of the concert? It was
Concert for Carolina.
Yeah, Luke Combs, Eric Church, like some big country artists came together and they raised, what was it, $25 million? And all that money's going for support, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's more than the country did to help out.
No, for sure. I've been pretty outspoken about shit like that. Yeah. It drives me nuts. And unfortunately, you get people that defend that type of situation, and when they defend it, they go, "Oh well, the budget is allocated that they're getting for other countries. The budget's allocated to give them that." It's like, why are we giving? Regardless, I don't care what budget. I don't care what the fucking budget is. Mm-hmm. Why are we giving money to other countries when our people need it? Hawaii, Asheville, Florida, Tampa, like all these places, they need the money more currently. So I don't care if the budget allocates $1 trillion for outside spending to other countries. First and foremost, Andy Frisella says it best: unless our country looked like Dubai, and okay, some people listen to that and they'll go, "Well, it's built on slave labor." It's like, okay, let's take all that shit out of it. Let's take any ethical, moral, whatever. Let's just say, unless our country looks like Dubai, clean, safe to walk around, like it's an awesome place. And if you haven't been there, I felt like I could leave my camera gear, no lie, outside the entire night and it would not have moved. That is how safe that place is. Now, the cultures and the people are very different. So you have to, as Andre Ferguson said, you have to shrink yourself sometimes because you're in their world. And there's a lot of people that travel and they don't understand that you're in their world. You're not in America anymore. So these freedoms that you either are for or against and pretend like you don't have, they're not the same now. So if you're outspoken or you curse in public or you use drugs or this and that, it doesn't fly in other places. You have to know where you're going and the laws that apply.
Yeah.
But we should not be doing any outside spending until our country is top tier, top notch, prime time, and it is not, and it hasn't been for a long time. And we need to get back to a sense of right after 9/11 is really what we need to get back to.
And that was what I felt yesterday running. It was, I'll get emotional, you know me. There were times I was getting teary-eyed. I mean, obviously hugging the support system when they were there, but running 26.2 miles with all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, people traveling all over the country to be a part of what we were doing yesterday. I mean, the support, when you saw people slowing down, "Hey, you got this." And they were like, "I don't know, speak English." And then you're like, "Vámonos." I must have said "si se puede" 100 times yesterday. I must have said "te amo" to Italians, which is "I love you." Like, let's go. I mean, it was so beautiful to see. And then obviously getting to my parents at the end and Layla and all the support that was there, family, my sister, her boyfriend, my cousin Joey, and Matt Weiss. It was unbelievable. But to go back to what you were saying, to see New York City like that, I haven't seen that, and I can't even tell you how long. And I'm sure that's the only day during the year, every New York City Marathon, it is the same. And just to experience that, it was like, okay, I got a little hope for what's to come or what this country really is. But it's just a shame to see that politics can separate the true values of a human being.
One of the issues that I've noticed over time is that we can't have conversations. And when you try to have a conversation with somebody in general, unless if they're so far in the opposite direction of what you believe in, they just look at it as like, well, we're never going to get anywhere anyway. And they scream and yell, or they shut down, or they don't allow the conversation to happen. And it becomes a real struggle point. After 9/11, nobody was black, white, anything. Everyone was just citizens of America. And it was awesome. Like, we were all Americans. Mm-hmm. Like, we all looked out for each other. Somebody needed to sit down on the bus. People were getting up, this and that. And unfortunately, once you have policies in place that really erode society from the inside out, you're seeing a lot of that now. The things that we're looking at now were things that were enacted 10 years ago. Mm. 12 years ago, not yesterday, not a week before, not anything like that. This is stuff that has happened, and the people that have been put into place, and slowly but surely. I mean, that's really that's how cancer works in the body. That's how it works in civilization too. So when it comes down to it, we have to get back to a place of like scrubbing everything clean, cleaning house, getting the right people in play. And listen, everyone's going to believe that their person is the right person. I'm big on track records. So to me, it's like if the track record ain't there, I don't know why we're having a conversation. So like that's kind of what. And if you don't understand why we're having a conversation, we'll inform you. But when we inform you, don't get crazy. Like just don't get crazy. I've sat with plenty of people that have opposite viewpoints of me, and my biggest viewpoint is I fucking hate the government. I want them to stay out of my damn business. I can't stand them. They do nothing but overreach and take as much money as humanly possible. And because it's us and fuck you, nothing ever gets done on home soil. I have a problem with that.
I agree.
I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. It does not matter to me. If you are somebody that's backdooring shit, which there's a million of them, if you've got into public service and you are now a multi-millionaire with generational wealth, you know how hard it is to build generational wealth that your kids are set? That is fucking insane. When the average person goes, I can't buy the grass-fed butter because it's $8 versus $3 for the seed oil.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see. And, just to piggyback that a little bit, I look at my father-in-law who's from Iran, came here.
I was actually going to ask you about what it was like growing up with him, with cultural differences, because I'm sure it was different.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like came to America because it was a better way of life, right? Like the story is phenomenal. I mean, his mom was terrified for him to come here because Americans are greedy. They're going to take his money. So she sewed pockets in his underwear.
I mean,
she's not wrong.
And that was 50
years.
over 50 years ago. Yeah. So he came here with his money sewn into pockets in his underwear. Like, and that's the story he tells. And it's incredible. But I mean, I feel like I grew up wanting to know more about his culture, but he wanted us to live this American way of life too. So he didn't push it on us. We say all the time, we wish he taught us Farsi, their language, just because it's cool, right?
Arash spoke Farsi.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's Persian.
Yeah. I mean, when I hear some phone calls with his sisters and stuff like that, he'll put them on speaker and I just like listen and I know nothing. But just to see his smile on his face, and because his sisters are still over in Iran, and just to see that, but that's America, right? Like you said, for a better way of life.
He became a citizen.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did it the right way.
Yeah. Second grade, first or second grade. I mean, like it was a thing. Like I got to leave school. I went to the ceremony where they swore him in as a citizen. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like the pride that was behind that.
That's the word I was hoping you said.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the excitement. I mean, did things the right way. Came on, I assume, like a work visa or a travel visa, something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But I know he was. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, he came with his
high
brother.
up as an engineer, right?
Yeah. He
scientist,
was a nuclear engineer.
Yeah, that's sick. I mean,
Big
that's
time.
sick. Yeah. So he came over, did his thing, and he proved that he's here because he wants better for himself and his family.
Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for immigration.
For sure.
You wouldn't be
None
here
of
if it
us
wasn't
would
for
be.
immigration.
No.
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for immigration.
Yeah.
No. I've always said I'm very pro immigration, but we got to know who's coming in the borders, because when it comes down to it, we came here for a better life. But just because we want to let anybody else in, we can't drop our guard and allow our families to be potential victims, and that's not okay in society. It's not okay if my neighbor's kid gets the shit kicked out of him just because somebody wants a couple extra funds. I don't care where it is. Like we got to take shit like that seriously, because it festers and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like cancer. So if you don't nip it in the butt and you figure out what's going on, you gotta take really drastic measures, which nobody likes to do. Italy. What am I, third generation?
That's what I am too. Yeah.
Yeah, third generation from Italy.
I thought you were first.
I wish. I wish.
Minimum, you'd be second, right?
So my
Did your grandmother?
It's my
come over?
great grandfather.
Yeah, so you're third.
Yeah, third. Yep.
I think we're the last ones that can get dual citizenship.
Listen.
My mom didn't want me to. Yeah, my mom.
You can be an Italian by citizenship.
Let's go.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
My mom told me she didn't want me to get the dual citizenship. She was filling out the paperwork when I was younger. I must have been like middle or high school. And she said she stopped filling it out because if I did the dual citizenship then, I would have had to serve in the military in Italy.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those
Like,
countries, yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like,
Thank God for mom.
yeah.
Iran, right? I mean,
Yeah, my dad had to serve. It's like,
but that's mandatory, right? As a
from what I know, I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his stories were great. I mean,
Who knows if they're 100% true or not.
That's like my grandfather.
he was telling me a quick story about how he kind of jumped the line in ranks and stuff like that. It was because he knew how to cook. And, he made some kind of chicken dish and was able to rank higher. He was able to sleep longer and stuff. But, I mean, just...
Chicken must have slapped.
Yeah.
That
Something
shit
about
must
that
have
chicken.
slapped.
My favorite dish from him now is his kebabs. I mean, he gets so happy about that and stuff. And just, again, being part of those traditions. But that's what America is, man. And it's so frustrating, right? My grandfather's a POW, and you have background in that stuff. You know people, and
Far too many people in military forces, and my grandfather served in the Korean War.
Yeah,
my grandfather hid behind the lines. My grandfather was part of the band.
Yeah, hey,
he knew he served. He served. But he knew he was like, oh, I'm gonna be in the band.
Yeah, but you're there.
With
you
pride,
know.
No, listen. At the end of the day, if the camp gets infiltrated, they put the gun in your hand and saying, "Go fight."
Yeah,
So,
and that's the piece, man. Like, come, but serve the country for value. What do you bring? Mr. Tafazzoli, my father-in-law, brought values, and he brought it down to Layla and Matthew, my father-in-law, and now they're tremendous people of our country, and then true Americans now. But it's just it's upsetting to see, it's tough.
I think it's just a degradation of society as a whole.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It's the lack of morals, lack of just judgment on upon people. I mean, you see what people do for money. I don't have to. I explain it every podcast.
OF.
I'm not going to go into it again because everyone's pretty much understanding on my viewpoints on that. But it's just, listen, there's a lot of people that'll say, "Oh, get that money, like whatever means necessary." Okay, $2.99.
Yeah,
really? Okay, that's all we're doing. And then you sit there and you wonder why you're treated as a commodity, as a service. Instead of like a human being. Well, it's because the dude tried to take you out on a date. He treated you real good, this and that. And then you're selling yourself online for anybody to see for $2.99.
Yeah.
Internet's forever, sweetheart. Guys too, yo. Some of these dudes have no morals either. No, guys too. Like this isn't just to shame girls that do OnlyFans. This is like anybody. Like I think that was a tipping point of society just not giving a fuck anymore. And people just and the loosely used word of model at this point in society. I don't know. Model used to be like a glorified title. And it's not even because of like the extreme beauty, but it would be these people in high places and all this stuff. Now, it's an OnlyFans model. It's a girl that just shows her butt for $2. Okay.
Yeah. I think the
story.
I'll go back a little bit. I think the dinner table is very important. And what do I mean by that is like coming home from work or school or a ball game and being able to sit with mom and dad, or if you don't even have mom and dad together, mom or dad, whoever it is, like it starts at home. And, I've seen it in the classrooms that I've taught in, single family homes run by moms or dads, whoever, gang related homes. And the kiddos that had the hardest time were the ones that didn't have the support at home. Just being able to have a mentor or a role model or somebody to look up to, whether it's a cousin or an uncle, whatever it is, but like family and the foundation and like you said, morals being taught from the start, it seems to be lacking. I don't know, because divorce rates are so high. I don't know what it is, but it seems that there's a lack of parenting and teaching. Not yet, soon, but
I just found out one of my friends. I can't say yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm actually the only one that they told.
Hey,
his wife called me. She's just like, awesome. I needed to tell somebody, and you're just the one that I needed to tell.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blow it because I know they do listen, and I don't know if any of my friends or family listen. So
good.
But they just found out that they're expecting, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's incredible.
And this is a girl who didn't want kids when they first got into the relationship because she came from a kind of like an fucked up home.
Yeah.
So she just said, I don't want to do that. But I told her, I said, now look at it in the light of you're able to now do the things that you wanted or needed as a child versus what your father, mother didn't do or did do that was bad.
Like fear of replicating it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to be like my dad. Yeah. I just don't want to be like my dad. It's a year. I've said it a couple times every episode.
I heard it, yep.
It's almost a year that I haven't spoken to him now.
Yeah.
Followed me on TikTok the other day, but he won't make a call.
No.
It's okay.
No.
you'll die alone. And it sounds harsh and sad, but you'll die alone knowing that your son didn't want to reach out to you because of the actions that you've done over your life. Who wants that?
No.
That's fucking crazy. That's your offspring.
Mm-hmm.
You should be amped. You should be excited about what they're doing.
Look what he's doing. Yep.
You know, and instead of doing that, you just let your own misery poison your mind and you live and fester in it. Okay. You know, it has taught me a lot in terms of what I don't want to do when and if I eventually have kids.
Yeah, and that's, for us, like, I mean, I think that's going to be our strong. I don't even think we've peaked in our relationship yet. I truly believe that our peak is going to be when we become parents because of the way we were raised and stuff like that. And just to go back to you, Nick, I mean, we've been boys for how long? And I look forward to kind of sharing that story, how we met and that stuff in a little bit. But and I was just telling,
I had that in the notes.
Yep, we'll get to that.
I haven't even looked at the notes yet. This is how it usually goes. And then we wind up going, oh my God, it's been how long? And okay, we got to do another episode.
But, and I was just talking about it with Mama O. I was just saying how strong your strength and your resilience to overcome that. I don't know what I would do without my father and having him to call to just say, hey, what would a man do in this situation? What would you do, And look at your success without that. It's admirable. This is why you have such a great following. This is why we've stayed friends for so long. And our friendship is special because we don't have to talk every day. And now look at us right now,
Pick up like nothing.
And it's special because it's a brotherhood and just don't want to shout you out because it's time. Like, you're strong. Like you're a man, and you're doing it on your own. Obviously with Mama Karen by your side, and you got Kenji with you. but you're doing it. Yeah. You're doing it, my man. And that's not easy because you have the excuse. Well, I don't have mentorship. I don't have a role model. Because that's what the world is. Look where I've been brought up in. It's this person's fault. Oh, you're this color, it's your fault. No, you've taken what you were dealt with and you've taken it and you've gotten in a Ferrari and sprinted with it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do. It's been an interesting journey.
Yeah.
It has been an interesting journey. And there were definitely a lot of opportunities along the way to fuck up and get fucked up. That my weight was one of them that I had to come back from. That was something that was a big challenge.
When we met?
Yeah, I think I was at the...
You were heading.
I was heading up again.
Yep.
Yeah, because I had gone down and then I was heading up again. And, we could break that down.
Yeah.
But it was, listen, I've said it a couple times prior. I had my father's family hated me and my mom because I was my mom's kid. And because of that, it was always a very bad struggle to assimilate into the family. A lot of nastiness, a lot of animosity because they didn't like my mom. They made it about my mom divorcing my dad because he was a nasty person and became somebody that she did not marry. And the problem is he got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and they made it about she divorced him over those years because he was sick, and that wasn't the case. He started indulging too much in drinking and drugs and not taking care of himself, and he was nasty around me as a baby, and she did not want that for me to grow up with in the house. Yeah. So she took a very tough choice and decision that unfortunately, that a lot of families don't make at times, and they stick it out, and the kids wind up even more fucked up than if they had just split up. And she cut it off. So the unfortunate side was having to grow up and go to his house and try to go to family functions and fit in, and I never fit in. Yeah. I used to get put in the basement, and there was a lot of things that really could have fucked me up bad. And I'm sure there's lasting effects of it in my psyche and internally, but it's nothing that appears on a daily basis where you're like, oh my God, this guy's so deranged. And what did he grow up like? So, living that, and I got a lot of support from my grandfather, my mom's father. He helped a ton. He helped raise me, essentially. He was more of a father figure than my own dad was. And it's not to say that my dad didn't try. He did try. He tried the best way that he could, which mostly was buying affection and then just like not giving like the real shit that a boy needs. Like I used to cry because I wanted to have a catch with my dad and like actually do physical stuff. Number one, he just didn't want to, but number two, he was also sick. So as I was getting older, he was progressing in the disease. So he couldn't walk as freely as he used to. So it was really an uphill battle. It was for a long time. And I moved a lot. I had 3 different times that I moved. I moved from West Hempstead to Melville to Plainview. And it was like starting over each time with new friends. And it was a very weird thrown into the mix type of a scenario. So it created, I guess it just created the echo chamber of just me to constantly just keep rising to the occasion. I guess that's why I do good at owning my own business, even though there's like multiple days where you just go, I'm sure you've been the same way. I'm done. I want a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
All I want to do is go work at a Starbucks and just go work my shift and fucking
clock in, clock out.
That's all I want. So I'm grateful for everything that has happened in life, the heartbreaks, romantically, the heartbreaks from family and whatnot. And it has created a perfect storm in some sense of just making it so I'm very self-sufficient. Bro, it's quiet. It's quiet by me. It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
I was an only child.
Yes.
My entire life. Not that I would be, just I had said that before.
Yeah.
And then somebody just goes, "What do you mean your entire life?" I'm like, "Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I fucking mean." I've always been an only child.
Yep.
So I grew up in my mom's office. So like what you hear here is what I grew up with. Like in an office building, I did a couple of little sports here and there, but for the most part, it was always like listening to business calls with my mom, with my grandfather, or by myself, reading my books, hanging out, just doing whatever. So, there's a lot of people that, especially on the romantic side of things, I've been single since 2018.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that are just like, don't you want somebody? Don't you this and that? And it's like, yeah, I do, but I'm not going to just allow anybody to come in and not disrupt my peace, but potentially take that away if things aren't a cohesive match.
Yep.
So I'm willing to try, but unless somebody really like dazzles me, I mean, my place is quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm just used to it. Like if I wasn't used to that and I was used to having a sibling or people around me, I probably would latch on to, like I see a lot of people that latch to relationships. These people that they're in a relationship. Oh my God, I love them. And then they're done after 3 months, 4 months. And then 3 weeks later, oh, I love them. It's like, bro, didn't you just have a girlfriend or a boyfriend for like 3 months and now you're on the next one? And it's just a constant rebound, as opposed to like, no, I'm just going to wait and see, what happens. And if somebody comes along and meshes, then we're good. But they just keep jumping to the next, because they don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And they're used to that companionship. So I guess long story short, I guess all of that has led me to the point where it's like, you don't want to be alone, but you're cool with it. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's like, okay.
God bless you in this dating scene nowadays, man. Holy moly.
It's rough. I downloaded the dating apps again.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to meet people, or just what's the? I mean, because again, right? You have so much to offer. Is it just because you're so busy, or is it so hard to find somebody?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's both. I really do think that it's both, because truth be told, having a dog that has medical needs and whatnot and attachment needs, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like my plate's full.
Yeah.
So unless someone's going to come through and make that plate a little easier, whether it be like, oh, I know you're at a shoot right now, or I know you're at jujitsu, or I know you're doing this. I got Kenji's pills at 8:00. You could stay like 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
That takes time to build that trust.
Exactly.
Trust someone.
Ready? But at that point, if I had that ability, this is what happens to Nick.
Yeah.
I get to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on edge.
Yep.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finally sleeping a little bit the last couple of nights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting my house up finally. I'm finally able to sleep a little bit better. But for a long time, any sound I hear, it's a seizure. Oh, and you're like, so, and he moves around all night. Mm-hmm. He's like a sundial. He's in the hallway. He's in his bed next to me. He's on the other side. He'll jump up for 5 minutes, then he'll jump back down. So it's like every noise, I'm jolting awake. I haven't been able to like chill. So when my mom says, hey, I can come over and give Kenji his pills later tonight. So like, that's what I need in a partner.
Adding value.
The ability, because my plate's full. I've got meetings, podcasts, videos to edit, dogs to walk 5,000 times a day because he's needy. I love him. He's great. Beat him up though. But that's really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, you see all of these dating profiles and it's me. That's all it is. What do you look for? Make me laugh. Feed me. I need the last bite of food on the plate. It's just like
a baby.
God, it's like, what the fuck am I getting myself into? This sounds like a mortgage.
I'll take your last bite though, every day.
The first and the last.
The first and the last.
That's fine. You gotta make sure it's not poison.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta make sure it's not poison.
Yep.
And I'm not expecting somebody to just like pop up like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh my
Walk through the
God.
door.
Yeah, she walks right in.
I'm here.
Oh my God. I'm not expecting it to be like that, but I'm also, you said I bring a lot to the table. Not to toot my own horn, but I do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking guys our age. Let me tell you, they've got a lot of handouts, and they're not anywhere near what the little thing that I've built here.
What
in terms of apartment, lifestyle.
We were just talking about and I was like, oh, did you just secretly call me a true man? You were describing somebody, and you were like, I would never be interested.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I was describing someone, and I was like, yeah, they just don't feel like the person that could like take charge as a man in this person's life and like lead them and lead their family. It was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, I
didn't mean it that way, but like it came out that way because like it's natural though. Like I can look to him and be like, what decision should we make? Or I know he's going to take charge and whatever it is we're going through in life.
Which is what you offer, which is where I was going with this,
Yeah, I mean, you want somebody that's going to be, listen, for generations and generations, the man was the head of the household. And it's not, some people will take that because they've been brainwashed into thinking that when you say the head of the household, it means the woman is nothing. And it's like
make me a sandwich and
laundry. Like women are some of my favorite people on this earth.
Yeah.
Karen is my favorite human on this planet.
Ever.
Like that's my girl.
Yeah.
So no, that's not what that means.
Yep.
That's not what it means when we say that.
Yeah.
Or at least when I say that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some people that are like that, where if the sandwich isn't made, they're throwing fists. So it's like, okay, that person does exist, but that's not what we say when we say the head of the house. The head of the house means the door gets kicked in at 2 a.m. Who are you looking to?
I'm running.
But who's got to take care of it?
He's in front. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like when shit hits the fan, the woman, I got this, babe. She's not going in front of him.
No.
And if she is, we got to get the testosterone checked out in that house.
That's a very good example of what I was trying to talk about the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's...
It's just and when you say head of the household, that doesn't mean that voices are suppressed in said household.
Yeah.
It means that, okay, I'm looked at as the man of the house. No one's coming in here to fuck with my family, but like we need to do XYZ for our needs or what have you. Honey, what do you think?
Yeah.
What should we do? Because just as you lean on him, he leans on you for other things. And that's why there are differences in men and women. Yeah. Let's be honest. There's differences in men and women.
Yes.
And that's what attracted me to Laila at first was like, oh my God, like she's a strong business owner. She's a woman. She runs a very successful gym. I mean, and you've been there, and we could get into that.
But she's not westernized.
No,
she's not westernized in the sense that she just goes, "Fuck men,
No.
I'm a boss bitch," and this and that. It's like, okay, you can be that without like sitting there and like, this isn't you, but like rubbing your chest, like, oh, I do everything without men. It's like, okay, we get it. Like you've been able to accumulate wealth for yourself and open a business. Yeah. But that's not what this whole thing needs to be about.
No.
It's not fuck the other sex. It's like we need to work together because that's what's worked for how many generations up until the last 20 years. Motherfuckers are bored. Let's just be honest. We have gotten so cushy and had life so easy. Everyone's bored. They just bitch about fucking anything anymore. Oh, the bathroom doesn't say everyone's accepted in it? Oh, fuck you. Oh, I'm going to write a strongly written letter and sign it with my cock at the bottom. It's like, bro, just relax, dude. It's like not that serious, dude. Go in the men's room. Like,
Listen, we're
gonna get through it.
Yeah.
It was the wildest thing. We were looking for the bathroom in our hotel.
No.
Just checked in, needed to go to the bathroom before we get to our room.
In the lobby.
In the lobby. I like go one way. He naturally is trying to go the other way. And then I'm like, oh, I think we both go in here. So we went into our separate stalls, came out, and we're sitting there washing our hands together. Like, this is so weird.
Well, and they'll be like, well, you're just not used to it yet. Like, it's just like this weird breakdown of like society. We don't need to get used to anything. We need to just like be real. Like, things work for a reason, Unfortunately, I'm sure there are people that have good intentions when it comes to some scenarios like that. Like they actually are not trying to see women or see men but guess what? By doing this, you invite that type of behavior in. Yeah. And you're going to get the sickos that are looking at fucking kids, or they're looking at women because they're a peeping Tom and they get off on that, or they flash you in the bathroom that everyone's allowed in. It's weird. And although those cases may be, because they're not publicized, far and few between, I'm sure as if it goes unchecked, it becomes more and more common. That's fucking weird. Yeah. It's just weird. There's differences between men and women. Let's just be real. Like scientific differences, biological differences, like everything. There are differences. If you feel uncomfortable in your skin, do whatever the fuck you want to do. I've always been a proponent of that. I had Alex Talinka on my podcast, a female that transitioned into a male years ago. He transitioned before he hit puberty as a female. So you wouldn't be able to tell that Alex was ever a female, ever. And he's very open about everything. They did psychological testing on him. They did everything to ensure that it was properly done that way. That is not happening for everybody. No. Alex is very outspoken about these things. He's also outspoken about like having the conversations and not feeling weird about talking about them. I mean, my podcast with him and John Panetti was great. I just said, so like, what's going on down south? Like, I just need to know. Like, I'm just curious. Like, do you, and he said, I just haven't gotten the bottom surgery. So I still have a vagina. Like, if you feel uncomfortable in your skin, do whatever makes you happy. Yeah. The issue that comes up that I see as I'm looking at X and just watching people's reactions to things, the issue that I'm seeing more and more frequently is the pushing of their beliefs on everybody. Let me be real with you. And I've said this multiple times, and then we'll get off this topic because I want to talk about you at the marathon.
Yeah, you're good.
Let me be real with you. If this person hates another person because they're gay, because they're bisexual, because they're white, black, Asian, whatever classification, if they hate somebody based on that, I can almost guarantee that your teaching and constant re-education and pushing it in their face is not going to make them not hate you. It's going to make it worse, unfortunately. And then what you're doing is by constantly pushing this narrative of like needing it to be in everyone's face constantly, you're making the regular people get irritated because we never didn't accept you. We just wanted you to do whatever was happy for you. Like whatever made you happy when we wanted you to do that. But the problem is that it's not even the majority of people. It's the companies, it's the corporations that get off on a whole month for this cause or that cause. And it's like, they go, oh, well, look how inclusive we are. It's like, bro, just treat everybody like fucking people.
Yeah.
Just treat people like people. Because the more we keep classifying it as you're white, you're black, you're trans, you're gay, you're this, you're that, the less we get away from the original reason we started this topic, which was you're not an American.
Yeah.
You're this, you're that, you're that. Just because you're all of these things doesn't mean you're not an American.
Yep.
You're human.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're human. Yep. And like you said, it's the pushing from both sides, and like you said earlier, the government,
side.
it's disgusting. And if we can get back to, like I said, the at-home life and making that stronger, I don't see these issues, staying forever. I mean, I think social media and the cell phones have caused so much issues.
They've caused a ton of issues.
I've
spoken
disgusting.
So much about them. They've caused so many issues. I feel worse the unfortunate truth is because it's an election year.
Yep.
Because I've been on it far more than I care to admit. Yep. Just like watching, reading, this and that, seeing articles and this, just staying up to date with everything. I find the more I'm on my phones, which this is my main phone, and then this is a private phone.
Mm-hmm.
So like everyone gets this number type of situation. This has no social media except X, which I have to delete on there. But I've found that the more I stare at these screens and my phones, the more unhappy I am in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm like anxious and I don't sleep as well, and
you feel cloudy.
Yeah,
you feel cloudy.
Yeah,
you just feel. Sometimes you can't even explain it. You just feel off.
Yeah,
and it's just hours going by where you're just staring at a fucking screen.
And from a relationship standpoint, I mean, she's been great at it. She's like, get off your phone, and we'll be just sitting on the couch hanging out tired, but like that's time away from each other, catching up on our day and stuff like that. And just bringing this back to relationships and why things are heading south for single people nowadays, but I mean it's valued time that's taken away because you're trying to catch up on this nonsense that's just in the palm of your hand all the time.
Well, think about it in the terms of like we're trying to catch up with constant news that we don't need to be caught up with. We're trying to stay informed about things everywhere. And the unfortunate truth of that is by staying so informed with everything around the world, it's creating a doom cloud over your head constantly because the bad news and the sensationalism is what flies and what people want to see. They don't want to hear the good story about how a dog was reunited with its owner after 10 years or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to hear those stories. That'll get a couple of clicks. Aw.
So
and then that's it. On to the next one. Oh, this just in. This dude was executed for dipping his tea the wrong way in Spain. They're like, what? And everyone just gets fucking crazy. It's like, yo,
like
was he gay?
section.
Was he this? Was he that? It's like, oh my God. It's like, everybody just relax.
Like, our parents grew up with the newspaper. You read that, you closed it, you went outside and did whatever it was, work, play, whatever it was. That was it. It was just the newspaper.
Now you have these anxiety boxes in your pocket.
It's driving me crazy.
AI, like, is it even real?
Yeah, well, you start
know?
thinking that then it starts bringing into perspective of like the simulation theory of life. Is this all real or is this simulation?
I know. I mean,
that'll stress you the fuck out.
We'll need
you
to
start really diving deep into those topics and how like at the root of certain things, it's binary code. And you start going, oh, like the cells are binary code. And you start looking and you go,
Makes you think.
You know, when you died, you just wake up out of the computer and it's just like, hey, thanks for trying this game out. And you're just like, what just happened? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll stress you the fuck out.
I haven't drank in forever, but we'll need an espresso martini for that conversation.
Dude, I broke my sober streak. I told you.
Yeah.
I broke my sober streak. And I'm worse off for it.
Yeah, that's how.
I should have stuck it out for 2 years. That's okay.
No,
truthfully, honestly, it
was well deserved.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. I had a couple of beers and I hung out, and that was it. A couple of beers here. I literally bought. I went to this beer distributor, and I loved getting like craft beers.
Yep.
And I went and I got a bunch of pumpkin style beers, and I got two. First off, 2 4-packs, so 8 beers total.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like $40-something.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I was like, yo, who is paying this on a regular basis to drink like this? That is crazy. But I said, all right, fuck it, whatever. So I bought it, and I got this Imperial Pumpkin beer from Sand City, which is a Long Island beer distributor or a brewery. And I had one. It was 9% alcohol by volume. I had one. I started texting people. I was like, yo, I'm sloshed.
Toasted.
This is fucking crazy. I haven't been sloshed like this in a long time.
I was 16.
Crazy. Dude.
Oh man.
So yeah, I finally drank the last 2 of those this past weekend when I was playing Call of Duty. I said, all right, it's a nice little evening in. I was stressed from building the IKEA furniture all weekend.
Oh gosh.
I said, all right, it's time. And I had the last 2, and then that was it. Yesterday I had my last cheat day. It wasn't even a cheat day, but like I had my last cheat meal. Ice cream last night before I went to bed, and I woke up this morning and I'm back on animal. I had 6 eggs, 6 whole eggs, and I had 150 grams of blueberries, and that's it. Now we're back to I gotta drop to, if I'm gonna compete in this tournament, I have to drop to about 180. So I'm 198 right now.
What's the if?
What?
You're good at what you do.
No, I know. My ankle is not 100%. It's probably like 90, 95.
Yeah.
It has moments. And from squatting this entire month for Squattober,
Pressure.
my LCL on my right knee has definitely been a little bit twinged. So I have to focus more on the recovery aspect of things and get back to prioritizing rest and recovery and good food. Because my diet has not been clean. It has not been clean. My protein has not been high. My carbs have been through the roof. So I have to get back to all of that so all the cylinders are firing. Yeah. But the real reason that I'm hesitant is I don't care if I lose. I really don't.
Yeah.
I care.
Of course.
But I don't care. Like if a dude taps me out, okay, on to the next one. Yeah. Great. It could be somebody that's vastly superior than me, but it could be somebody that is not as good. And then they just got a lucky break and they're just like, okay, here's the arm. Boop. My issue is injuries.
Yeah.
It's cool when you train for something like a New York Marathon, because you're not going directly against another person. You're going against people.
Of course.
But it's not a combat situation where you tap and they don't let go and they snap your arm. Shit like that freaks me out. You know, training, everyone's super respectful, but you get a picture when you start training more and more about who rolls nicely and who doesn't. Who is going to be more of an asshole and hold a submission a little longer, or is going to every time you roll with them, it's a dogfight. Like you just know. And a lot of times I'm not up for that because I've been working all day, or I was doing Squattober and squatting every day. So I'm just like, oh my God, my legs are just toast. I can't fight this fucking person off for a 5-minute round.
Yeah.
So My biggest fear is going into a tournament and then getting a person that is not going to be respectful as I would be respectful with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy that I land on somebody and I go, oh, you good? I didn't mean to land on you like that. We
Yeah.
cool? And like some people like go, yeah, like we're rolling, we're fine. And other people go, oh, I appreciate you asking and checking in. It's usually always the higher belts that appreciate it.
Yeah.
And the middle blue belts like me and lower, most of the time, and if they haven't rolled me before, they're kind of like they're taken back by it. And it's like, yo, at the end of the day, we could really hurt each other.
Yeah.
Bad. Career-ending injuries. Like a Kimura is when somebody basically puts the arm behind your back and they try to make it touch the back of your head situation. That could snap you. That could just destroy
Done.
your shoulder. It could break your arm and your elbow and it could destroy your shoulder in 2 seconds. So it's like I always do submissions slow.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to tap. There are people in tournaments that won't do that.
And for what point?
Well, because they want that plastic metal.
Oh.
They want that plastic metal. They're just like, oh,
Gotta have the plastic.
oh my God, it's my local tournament.
Yep.
I gotta
Yeah.
be this guy. I gotta snap a motherfucker.
For the Facebook post. The
There's
Facebook
no money
post.
in it either. It's literally just
You could go pro, but
right at this
33
level.
I'm 33 years old.
Yeah.
I'm probably not
Yeah.
gonna go pro.
Right.
I'm probably not gonna be able to compete at that high level. I'll be able to. I mean, listen, I'll be able to shake some shit up and do well.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna be able to, go against Gordon Ryan or these other guys that are the big
guys,
names of the
big-
sport.
Yeah.
He's also in a very different weight class
Yeah.
than me. So thankfully. So let me ask you this. You've always been an athlete.
Always.
You've always been an athlete. You really have. You've always been coaching or competing in athletics,
Yeah.
baseball,
Yep. College.
marathon running. That's new. Why did you choose to do the New York Marathon?
Special.
Because I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
it felt like so weird to hear
Yeah.
you say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting ready for the marathon." I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It was weird to watch him run it. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, baseball growing up my whole life. Obviously, played. Everyone starts with soccer, football and basketball. But obviously, through my family, my cousin Sal played collegiate, and I mean, it was just the love. There was the love of baseball. Growing up, New York Yankee fans. Dad has been coaching. He's still coaching at 60 years old. He started coaching at 20 when he lost his father. So I mean, that was just in the family, in the blood. But I miss competing. They don't teach you, and this is a whole nother conversation, but once college sports is done, let's say you don't get drafted or go play a pro or semi-pro, whatever it is, it's done.
You just sit there like
You're done. What's now?
That meme of like
Yeah.
little monkey
Yeah.
sitting
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's next, you know? And shout out to all my former college athletes. Like God bless us, because it's like it's done. This was not what our life was, but it was everything to us, And I was just looking for something to compete in. Obviously, we have the gym, and that stuff is awesome. The camaraderie there, you've been part of that and
ISI,
seen the
shouts to
energy.
ISI.
Yeah,
Dilworth.
Big D, baby. Big D, baby. Shout out to Steven, one of our best members, for just saying it one day and it stuck. But I was just looking for something to just help that edge.
Sink your teeth
I missed it. Yeah. So unfortunately, but fortunately, cousin Jack was diagnosed with leukemia in September of 2023.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He is doing awesome. He's playing football for MacArthur. He's a senior. They got playoffs next weekend. I mean, he's back on the field.
How did he know? What were some of the symptoms?
Big, huge black and blue on his, I believe it's his right leg. It might be the left, one of them, but he couldn't walk. Like in the middle of the night, something tightened. He rolled over to get up, and I guess he fell or he just couldn't walk. He's like, Dad, to my Uncle Joe. Like,
crazy.
Yeah. And so he rolled his pants down. And he had this big black and blue. If he didn't recognize that, who knows what happens? And he's like, my uncle's like, we're going to the hospital. Jack, we got to go. And this is my Jack. This is Jack. No, we ain't going to the hospital. I got a game in 2 days.
Yeah.
Thank God they went. They found out it was leukemia. Don't know how, like the big severity of it, but it was bad, obviously, any type.
That's my uncle passed away.
And he stayed there for I believe it was weeks. I remember getting the phone call, just finished working out at the facility, and I came in crying. I was like, leukemia, like how bad can it be? I had no idea. My dad called me, Jack's got leukemia. Hello, what? What does that mean, Dad? Like, what's the recovery? What
How
are we
old is
doing? He's 16. He's a senior at MacArthur. Yeah, I mean, unheard of.
What did they say was the potential reasoning?
He's one of one. It's just birth.
Super
just,
rare.
Yeah, it's DNA.
He's had it since birth?
No.
Well, festering in the
yes.
system?
Yep. So he's 1 in 1 million and something. The case that he got, or the kind that he got, or has still, because he takes pills monthly, is common in 75 and older. This is rare. It's also more common in twins, and he's a twin. Shout out to JoJo. Love you, buddy.
Wow.
His brother doesn't. I mean, he's fine, but
They
more
test
common.
him?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, I could definitely check that out. But
Yeah, check that out. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because I would probably be like, if my brother got it, I would
then
say,
what are the odds there?
I want to just know
Good
the
question.
odds, and I want to get tested to make sure there's
Yeah.
nothing dormant or
It could pop up.
pop up.
Yeah.
And then, you know me, how can I help, right? Jack, what can I do to keep you motivated while you're battling this thing in the hospital? I mean, it was so cool to see the community of Levittown and the MacArthur High School football team. They were outside every day and stuff. With
59.
Yeah, 59. I got his bracelet right here. Team Jack 59. That's his number. But I said, Jack, let's do something crazy. Let's raise money for cancer and let's see what we can do. He's like, all right, let's run a crazy marathon. I was like, dude, my thick ass and my big hips, we're meant to run from first to third, or 90 feet. We're meant to run 90 feet at a time.
360 if you
360. What is it? 384 times around the bases equals
384.2.
Yeah, 384.2 times around bases, big field bases, equals 26.2 miles.
This is what we were doing morning of the marathon. How many times would he have to run around the bases?
Yep, that was my mindset.
Had to relate it to something.
So anyway, he's beating it, he's battling it, and shout out to my buddy John Welsh, who I ran first 16-ish miles, probably first 13 miles, first half with. He gave me a call, actually. It just was like perfect timing. He goes, you want to run New York City? I go, when? He goes, in 2025. I go, I'm in. Calls me the next day. He goes, we're in. For 25? He goes, no, 2024. I go, like now?
Like springtime.
Yeah, like how many months? Like 6? He's like, oh my God. I was like, all right, it's time to go. So, we got connected with the American Cancer Society. Awesome charity group. The energy in our the Facebook groups, the emails. We had all run coaches. We had a program. Did I stick to the program? No, because I'm a former athlete. My body breaks down if I work too hard and stuff like that. So we trained in a way that I would be able to start and finish. That was the goal, and to also not break down my body too much.
It says we trained. He trained. I did not train.
Listen, you were there for the 20-miler down in Rosemary Beach, right next to me, with the bike.
On a bike.
Yeah, but that's good.
That's huge. I needed it.
I did that with Marino when Marino was getting ready for High Rocks.
It's huge. You need it.
Marino was getting ready for High Rocks, and I couldn't keep up with her pace.
Yeah.
She was just. Yeah. I told her, I said, I don't run like that anymore since I stopped doing OG. I said, I don't run like that anymore. No. And
I'm trying to find my paces.
And I was running. She goes, oh, I just got to do 40 minutes of cardio. Not that bad. I'm thinking, I go, all right, 40 minutes. I got to run for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Slow, steady state.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah. I said, how intense? She goes, oh, not that intense. We're doing like a 740.
What? That's amazing.
Pace. I wound up doing like 3 miles, 2.5, 3 miles with her. And I said, just keep going that way. That's the way to the house. I'm not fucking doing this. We're all the way in Huntington Harbor.
Yeah.
She's like, you sure? I go, oh, so sure. I'm walking the rest of the way. I'm like, I don't run like that anymore.
No.
So, which I have to start running again to get it's funny, like not to derail, but the weights versus cardio, now that I got my strength back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I could have hit 4 or 5 for squats.
Yeah.
So
I know.
But I was tired.
You looked good.
I know. I was tired, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just stay at 365 for one.
Yeah.
But now the strength is over, but the cardio is back down. So I want to just get back to the middle.
Yep. I mean, and I think that was the strength for me. I mean, to run 26.2 miles, again, it was mixed between sprint intervals during the week. Sundays, we would do track workouts, which if you've never run on a track before, just running a 5K is so hard. And then to hit the streets for my long runs, I felt good. The lungs were awesome. We trained them the right way. We'll get to the pneumonia piece again in a second. But just the way we did it, I never gave up strength training. So if you are a marathon runner and you can access a gym or like an OG, something that's going to push your strength, whatever it is, purebred, here on Long Island. For us, obviously, we have the gym at ISI. Don't stop strength training. You need it. My legs did not give up because of the strength that I had in the lower half. Obviously, if you can talk to yourself and clear that mind and just think positive, it's a no-brainer for somebody that wants to try it. But it was hard. I didn't want to run 16 miles on a Saturday morning in the heat. I didn't want to run 20 miles in Rosemary Beach on vacation, but it had to be done. I had to stick to certain protocol to get my body ready for what's to come. And the race itself, man, like I said earlier, it was unbelievable. Running over the Verrazano Bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, running into the Bronx for a second, and you're hearing New York play. You get into Brooklyn would go hard. Jay-Z was bumping. The energy was unbelievable, and it goes back to our conversation's been about. Like everyone came together.
Yeah, people are people.
I mean, it was, and there was no politics. Yeah, you saw signs, go out and vote when you're done running. Like, oh, dude, this ain't about voting today, you know? But age-wise, I mean, I ran with a 78-year-old. She was unbelievable. It was her 5th marathon. I ran with people from Israel, Italy, Spain, Canada. We met on the train on the way back. But everybody it wasn't, hey, what was your time? No, it was congratulations. You did the damn thing. One of my buddies texted me, 0.17% of the population will run a marathon every year. So like, I'm part of that 0.17 for
the 1%.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
When you see the statistics for the corresponding activities that you do,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. There are statistics like that. I think it's something like for jiu-jitsu, there's something like 70 or 80% of people won't make it to blue belt.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and you're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then it's also motivating. So shout out to 2025 Chicago Marathon. We'll be back with the American Cancer Society. So I'm going to run again. Going to run again. Yep.
He texted me. He's like, hey, I got into Chicago. Should I accept it? It's like, why don't you just wait and see like how New York goes? He's like, I already clicked yes. I'm like, all right, we're going to Chicago.
The fee's done. We're going to raise more money for cancer. And that's the that's the motivation, because again, it goes back to who I am as a person. I've always wanted to compete in a, I want to win. I wish I could run a 2-hour and 7-minute marathon like the winner was, but that's not my body type. 2 hours and 7 minutes.
What was your time?
I was 5 hours and 12 minutes.
What was my buddy Jake?
Yeah.
Jake ran yesterday.
I mean,
listen.
Yeah.
Jake is like pro lacrosse player for a long time.
What's up, boy?
Hi,
man.
Hello, Kenj.
Pro lacrosse player for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's just like a freak athlete.
Yeah.
Jake.
And the thing about Chicago is you don't have the bridges or the hills. It's all flat. So I will go for a PR there. Training now. I think nutrition we're going to lock into. Laila did an amazing job. So again, right, going back to the household, Laila did a phenomenal job with whole foods and, making sure the protein intake was up in the carbs.
3 hours and 9 minutes.
I mean, God bless. That's unbelievable.
Is that good?
That's unbelievable.
Incredible.
Is that good?
Finishing
Get the heck out of here. That's amazing.
Yeah, finish time was 12:20.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's insane.
Wonder what time his heat took off, but that's unbelievable. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's the homie.
Yeah, I mean, God
Jake's good
bless.
people, man. I want him on the podcast just in general.
Yeah, get on the podcast, brother.
Yeah, Jake's the homie. His family's really good people.
Yeah.
They own a lot of they own the Qdobas.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
on Long Island, a lot of
Sweet.
Burger Kings. They're a restaurateur
Yeah.
type of franchisees.
That's awesome.
But, so the race is about to begin. What's
Yeah.
going through your mind?
I mean, I was definitely feeling like, again, I go back to it, locker room mentality, like the butterflies, headphones were starting to come in. But again, you were with all ways of life. So it was looking around. I was like, there's no way I'm not finishing this thing. There's no way I'm not going to just take in the atmosphere. We did the national anthem, which to me means so much. I mean, walking past National Guard and armed soldiers, I was like, all right, my grandfather's here with me. And then, they go, all right, we're on your mark, get set, boom, the cannon goes off. And you just see everybody start going. We go up the Verrazano, and I went up the bridge slow. I'm looking
so where
around.
Does it start? It starts
at the Verrazano. Right
going towards Staten Island?
Yeah.
From Staten Island.
From Staten Island into New York. Yep,
Okay.
yep. So we
How
went
did they
through
get
there.
you over there first?
We just walked. Everything was blocked off. So, I mean, we did a lot of...
Took a ferry though.
Oh, yes, sorry.
You took the ferry to Staten Island.
Yep.
And then you walk to the starting
Yep.
point.
And then we have they call it like athlete area. So we would stay there until our corral and our heat was called. And
It was
we'd
cold
walk
yesterday
up.
morning.
Yeah, it was cold. It
was cold.
Yep. I mean, and another cool thing that you don't see, so many people donated clothes. I mean, there was big boxes filled with sweatpants and stuff like that. And that's the beauty of these events is it's more than just running. The amount of money that the American Cancer Society, just one charity out of hundreds, we raised $1.5 million for cancer this year. It was a record. Yeah. It was a record. What seems like $6,400 that I raised was small, but it was the bigger picture. So the Jacks of the world will have more opportunities. Still blows my mind that we don't truly have a cure for cancer, which goes back into the medicines.
It might be in there somewhere.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm not. I got to do this. I got to do the YouTube disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. So don't take my advice. I'm sure we have a cure.
Yep.
The unfortunate side of that
Yeah.
business, I feel like I can say the unfortunate side multiple times the podcast, but it's very unfortunate.
Yep.
The bad part about it is that without people being sick, these people are out of jobs.
Yeah.
As opposed to being preventative measures where, hey, don't eat XYZ. Hey, get exercise. Hey, go get sunlight. Hey, take your fucking shoes off and put your feet in the sand. Like, honestly, when I'm in here, I forget where I saw it on TikTok, but I call them foot prisons. I take my shoes and socks off. Spread my toes.
Yeah.
Got to just be dexterous and just feel that.
Yeah.
You know, you go to like girls that wear heels all the time and their feet are just fucking scrunched. It's like, can't be good for you.
No.
You know, go touch some grass. Go walk out. Go walk around outside for a little while.
Yeah.
The simple things that have kept civilizations and people alive for long times, even though the life expectancy wasn't as long.
No.
But guess what? It's coming back down now.
Yeah.
We're going the opposite direction. We're trending downwards.
Food.
There's more sedentary lifestyles. The food is dog shit.
Disgusting.
Dog shit. But somebody will look at me and I say I ate 6 whole eggs and blueberries this morning. They'll be like, are you trying to have a heart attack? It's like, what are you talking about? Bro, you had like a box of cereal. What the fuck are you judging? What, are you out of your mind? But hey, remember, you know, that food pyramid that one time they put up that statistic and study that said Lucky Charms is better for you than a steak.
That was during COVID, wasn't that?
That was right after.
That was wild.
That was like a year or two after.
But that was just to make a certain circle of people feel good about themselves. And that's an issue. That's not true.
We've allowed the insane to run the asylum. That's what's going on in our civilization today. We have gone back on we have regressed so far in you don't want to bully anybody, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. And because of that, we just go, we pacify people. Like they're barking about how Lucky Charms are healthier than steak. And there's a lot of people that just go, oh, yeah, you're right. You're probably right. It's okay.
Yep.
But then another person comes along and starts barking with them and, oh, it's okay. Yeah. Oh, sure. Whatever you think. But the more that we do that, the louder that minority voice of lunacy gets. And now it's 1,000 people screaming. You're just like, whoa, like, hey guys, it's not like that.
No.
And they're like, no, we're all together. You said. We're pacifying people and situations. That's what's going on. And the Food and Drug Administration is like one of the biggest things. RFK, bro. Listen, man,
I know.
I don't care who you like as your political person, but I'll tell you what, man, RFK, who is a Democrat, who was for a long time, that is the guy to come in and shake that shit up. Because I think they were just talking recently about taking fluoride out of all of the water if they get elected starting January 20th or some shit like that, making sure everybody stops putting fluoride in the drinking supplies.
It'd be huge.
Bro, fluoride, I think it's more prevalent in areas of lower income, which is fucked up, and poverty. And it has been known to cause learning disabilities. It has been known to cause different health impairments cognitively. Why is it toothpaste, all the drinking water, all this stuff? But then you get people that go, "Oh no, it's good for you."
Yeah, and
they put that on our teeth as kids. Like you would go in and be like,
fluoride. It's probably in your toothpaste,
for sure.
Unless you get fluoride-free toothpaste, it's in your toothpaste.
Yeah.
And you brought up disabilities. Obviously, I'm now back in the classroom. Shout out to my special settings class, Pleasant Knoll Elementary School, one of the top schools in South Carolina. But you talk to our parents growing up. Did you know students with special needs? Yes, but how many? 2. Now we have 4 classrooms in one elementary school.
That gets me very nervous to eventually have a family. Yeah. It's like, listen, at the end of the day, I don't care if I have a boy or a girl. Healthy. I just want the boy or girl to be healthy. Yep. That's all I want. I've never been like, I have to have a boy. I have friends like that, and then they have 10 girls. It's like, there you go, bro. Like, you shot yourself in the foot. Like, you got what you didn't want. Like, I just want whatever child I have to be healthy. The problem is when we don't have, once again, we go back to not being able to have conversations, because the second you say, oh, I'm against all these forced, say, vaccinations, let's say, that's what you believe is the cause for a lot of the uptick in diseases and whatnot, and autism and all these learning disabilities. If you believe that, oh, you're anti this, you're anti that, and the mob attacks you, as opposed to you just being able to have an opinion. Yeah. Like, hey, this is what I believe. You don't have to believe it. It's okay.
But let's talk about it. Let's have a good conversation.
And let's figure out why.
Yeah. And I'll hug you after.
If you truly believe that the drug companies have your best interest in mind, look at their revenue. Year over year, look at their revenue. Look at how much money they're making. And look at the diseases and life expectancy dropping. Why?
Yeah.
I thought they were fixing everything. I thought if I took this pill, it would get rid of all of my inflammation and all of my problems in my body.
Mhm.
But actually, it just caused 4 other problems.
Yep.
And I just had a stroke.
And you're on another medication.
And I'm on another medication
Yeah.
to balance out the medication I took for the original problem.
Yep.
Whereas if I just took all the bullshit out of my diet and I maybe drank, let's say, I don't think it's the cure to everything, but maybe I drank filtered water
Yeah.
and I remineralized it and I drank clean stuff. Why do you think that some of the best drinking water you can have is natural spring water, like from the source? In France, all these places in Europe, they have places where people walk around with their canteens, and it's a natural spring, like off spout
Yeah.
of the actual stream. They literally just put their bottles underneath it. They get
Fill
the
it up,
water,
drink it.
and they walk.
Yeah.
It's got some of the best TDS, total dissolved solids, into water. So your potassium, your sodium, all of the different minerals that you need. And you just filter water out, that's great, but it's not mineralized now. So now it's basically flat, dead water.
To add it
There's
back
nothing
in.
in there.
Yeah.
And then the problem with that is, from what research and people have said, is that as you drink it now, it goes through your body. And because the water absorbs in some capacity, it's taking some of that minerals from your body. So you become more deficient. So you drank something that didn't have any benefit to it, and now it actually stripped you a little bit of the minerals.
Which makes you go back, which means you spend more.
Exactly. When you see I'm going to talk shit about smart water.
You're good.
When you see water like that, what does it say on it?
Smart water.
Yeah, but what is it? What type of water?
Vapor distilled water and electrolytes for taste.
Okay.
Purely balanced pH.
Does it say purified water anywhere?
Don't see it.
You got
Purity you can taste.
Purified water is basically as if you
Yeah.
had just used water through a Brita. So they charged Dasani, Poland Springs, and natural water, but Dasani, what are the other ones? Evian's one of the best waters you can drink.
What about Voss?
Voss, I believe, is good.
Yeah.
I don't drink too much Voss. The bottle always freaked me out.
Glass bottle.
Yeah, it always felt too fancy.
My bougie sister always goes to
Mountain
that.
Valley, the green. You see everybody drinking Mountain Valley water. Very good for you, but you want to make sure that you're drinking spring water. That's what you want to drink. There was contamination efforts with Fiji recently, over a year ago and whatnot. The unfortunate side is, like, once profit margins are at stake and this and that, you start seeing companies cut corners, and by cutting corners, it's not always the cleanest.
Yeah.
There's and I want to get back to the marathon, but this is what happens all the time.
Hey, I love it.
There's a constant battle of people saying that there's a secret demonic agenda when it comes to liquid death.
Yeah.
That, why wouldn't you call it liquid life or whatnot? It's like, it's very demonic in terms of, like, the water and their messaging and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they did used to advertise that it was French Alp water, and now they've switched. Now
Not
they're
anymore.
using water in the
Everyone's
US.
walking around with it now, so they're making
Why would
money.
they? Yeah, now they're making money. So how can we make
More money.
Yep.
That's the unfortunate side that it gets to.
Yep.
Like, how can we 10x this and make our shareholders even more happy with us? Well, we could just, the original water was better from France, but we could probably get it from the US somewhere, and it'll be cheaper for us to
cheaper.
manufacture. So it all circles back to businesses.
Yeah.
If healthcare is not a for-profit business, there's no incentive for them to just keep people healthy all the time. It's fix, or treat. It's never, when you talk to people, it's like, oh, we're never going to cure you. They'll never use that word, like, especially cancer patients. Yeah, we can't say we're going to cure your cancer, but we're going to treat it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It really is, because, we have so much technology and so many abilities to just do so much good, and it gets bottlenecked in the thought process of profit. But I think capitalism is good, and when it has its place, its time and place. But in the healthcare, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Anyway, back to the marathon. You were pulling up your numbers.
Yeah. No, I mean, we sat 11s and 12s, 12-minute paces, ran with
good,
my
bro.
buddy John. Yeah. Again, it was a smooth run. Like I said, we trained to
Get my running,
start and
my
finish.
running numbers up.
Hey,
What's your motto? Thick guys fly.
thick guys fly.
Hey, now.
That's it. Shout out to y'all thick guys with big legs and big booties. But no, it was awesome. I mean, So Sammy, shout out to Sammy Siegel. He called 1,000 times. I finally got to him. Love you, bud. But he was like, was there a mile that you hated? I said no, because I trained in the tens. My ego and my hothead.
You weren't pushing it.
No, it was just smooth. It was a smooth run. And
did you ever have to dial yourself back though? Like
No.
You started getting a little too much. And
I have a lingering stress fracture in my right foot, and that heated up probably back 10 miles. It was frustrating.
That's great to run on.
It was
really good.
It was, and obviously your legs go, because I've never run 26. Training's capped out at 20 for me. And
how many steps did you take? Like 60,000.
oh my God,
Let me see.
Nick, wait for this.
The amount of walking that they make the marathon runners do.
Yeah.
To get to the start line,
Dude.
to get to your family after you cross the finish line.
Probably
like
wild.
insane. It's like 2 miles on each side.
Yep. Let's see. What do we got? Yesterday. How do we go to yesterday? Well, it was some crazy thing. Oh,
Yeah.
and just slide over. There we go. Got it. All right. Calories burned. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You want to guess?
Calories burned. This is the entire marathon, and you started it and stopped it around the marathon.
No. So this is probably the whole day.
Whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say probably 6,000 to 8,000.
I wish. 4,700.
Okay.
4,700. 61,207 steps, 31.67 miles walked throughout the whole day. So obviously stopping at 26, I was at 58,000 steps for 26.2.
On a stress fracture.
On a stress fractured right foot. I mean, it's lingering. And again, I'm teaching, we're coaching, so it never really truly heals. So obviously we'll get some help. Ortho Carolina, I need you when we get back home.
That's me with all my injuries.
But
I keep training through everything.
And that's
like an asshole.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, Lay, if we could fix this piece, I think we can have some fun in Chicago, because Chicago's all flat.
When is Chicago?
October 12th, 25.
Oh, so you're going next year. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to do 6 months of strength training, get back to ISI. I miss being in there as much as I used to be. And then we'll do 6 months of what we did.
Nice.
We'll train healthy. We'll train strong.
Well, we have December coming up.
Yeah, what's that?
Squattober, I finished.
Okay.
Deadlifts.
December starts in
Yeah,
for deadlifting.
I got to get back into that. I missed the deadlifts.
I'd like to pull 500, 550.
And you've been there.
Yeah, I've
there.
been to 500 before.
Yeah.
So I would say I'd like to pull 550, 600. That'd be fun. I didn't think I was going to smash through my squat PR. My squat PR was like 320 back in the day.
Yeah.
You got 365.
Yeah.
Can you post your form all over the place, please? Because I'm tired of just the form is incredible.
Thank you.
Because the hinge piece with you, like your chest isn't over the floor like some people, and we can get into the coaching piece. Like I watch form and coaches standing next to people, and they just let it go.
Yeah,
they just let it
Squatting
go.
is tough because I mean it's a hard exercise. Nobody wants to squat.
No.
A lot of times.
Or that
We
weight.
do it 500 times a day.
Yeah, but body squats though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so the form doesn't need to be impeccable, but once you load that bar up on your back, it's a very different feeling, and people don't know where to put their feet or center things out and whatnot. I'll tell you where it all started from. It's a very funny story.
Yeah.
I posted a video of me squatting up in Connecticut when I was getting ready for my bodybuilding shows, and I loaded 225 on the bar. I thought I was hot shit, and this is when I was posting my workouts every single day, and I squatted. And it was horrific.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrific. I saw that video a couple of years ago again. And it's one of those videos that you just watch yourself doing something and you just go, oh, bro, you posted that? That is crazy.
Facebook memories every morning when I wake up.
It was horrific. Let me tell you. Like, we're talking barely squatting past neutral. Like,
Yep.
it was... And I thought I was the shit. Like, I was squatting heavy.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers, put this weight up. And I remember like a dude that I was friendly with through Bevs, he commented on it and he said, yo, delete this. This is embarrassing. And I went, oh, never deleted it, but I remembered it. So thanks to him, ever since after that, I went, oh, I'm going to be squatting ass to grass whenever I squat, whether it's light, whether it's heavy, I'm going to make sure that I'm sitting on the ground. And that's why people go all the time. They go, oh shit, you like really sit down. And I go, oh yeah, like there's no stopping at neutral or a little bit below. If I don't feel my hamstrings connect with my calf, I didn't squat low enough for me. And there's some scientists and exercise science people that'll say it doesn't add any more benefit and it actually causes more tension or whatnot. Whatever.
Yeah.
For me, no, I'm sitting on the fucking ground every time.
But I think that's the cool piece is someone said something about it, right? Like we live in a world where everyone's workouts, no matter what it is so prevalent on social media. People are scared to say something. I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want to make that coach feel less than. And we're not all perfect coaches or members at gyms, but like someone said something and it made you a better person because.
Oh yeah. That fueled me to get better at
Yeah.
squatting. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm never being spoken to like that again on the
Yeah.
internet.
And then go into what it's done for you. Like you just said, you just changed your projection of squats. For us in the gym, if we don't say, like, if we walk by somebody, which rarely happens, our coaching staff, we're blessed, trained well, they're great human beings. If we see something wrong, we're going to go over there. We're going to say something. And we've built relationships in the gym that we know how to speak to certain people a certain way, and they'll listen. You know, that fires you up probably. That probably
tight.
That's what I'm saying.
Tight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. And then I started realizing, I went, oh yeah, no, this is ass.
Yeah.
This is ass. This is an ass squat. This is horrible.
And now look what
I
you're
wonder
doing.
if that video's still there, because it was it was pretty bad, and it really did. I don't go on Facebook, so we're gonna see like a ton. I just don't go on this app anymore. But yeah, I mean, it kept me realistic with myself essentially, and it made me just want to get better at it. But some people will have that spoken to them, and they'll never post another workout video again because they're just scared of that criticism.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if it's because of that, or it's because, you know, just obviously with the podcast, everyone's going to always say something. I always get people that say shit on the internet all the time, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, people always saying shit. At the end of the day, you have to consistently remind yourself that it's engagement, and that person's thought process or what they're saying has no direct impact of you as a person. So you just got to keep trucking forward.
Yeah.
But and that goes back to our conversation of having conversations. How are you going to grow without talking to somebody? You know, it'd be boring if you did things right the whole time. How are you supposed to get better? You know, the amount of conversations we've had with coaches that just want to, you know, get more informed or more information on how to do certain things. We get it all the time at the gym. You know, members pay a price, right? They it's a week of groceries for them that they pay to be members at the gym. We got to give them that value.
Yeah.
I say it to the coaches all the time. We preach it. You have to give them $180 value every single time they're there. And that's, you know, you have to do it. Otherwise they'll go to Crunch Fitness or wherever, no knock, but, you know, a box gym, and they'll go do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be up here.
Can't wait to see little Nick squatting.
It's got to be up here. This is like tiny. Yeah, here it is. This is tiny Nick. I thought I was the shit with my belt, my wife beater on. For those that need to be told, a wife beater is slang for an Italian tea. All right,
He never beat a.
I don't actually beat women, fucking people. You know, someone say, "Wait a minute."
Let me. We're watching the
That
video right now.
is
Yep,
horrible.
we're watching a video
That's
right
all
now.
ligament.
Let me talk about this Nick Rizzo. What year was this, Nick?
Fuck. Pumping squats for days. Got to build these wheels so they stick through the board shorts. Dog.
What year?
No quads are getting sticking through the board shorts.
Was that the year we went to the movies and you brought your salmon and had it in the movies?
That smelled good, I bet.
Or we watched the Super Bowl. We watched
It's supposed
the
to
Super
be a
Bowl.
parallel squat. I'm just wondering. Yeah. Got to go deeper. It's all on the way up.
I remember him coming over for the Super Bowl. He brought
I must have deleted that comment.
your layered lunchbox. Every 2 hours you would have to eat. Mama made chicken cutlets.
Yep.
He didn't eat them.
Nah, man. Yeah, I was very regimented back then.
Yeah.
It doesn't say. This has to be 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
So that's 10 years ago.
10 years, yeah.
And now look at the difference.
Homies.
Yeah, it just, you know, you gotta. There's how many people need to humble themselves when they
Yeah.
go to the gym too. You know, you have to understand like, and I had that thought process when I was younger. I would just grab the heaviest weight I could grab, and it didn't make sense for what I was trying to do. You know, especially when it was bodybuilding focused as opposed to strength training. I was focused so much on building muscle, but if you're just grabbing the heaviest dumbbell, hitting it for 2 reps, that's strength training. Like that's not what we're trying to do.
Right.
You know, that's why this program for Squattober was so cool. Yeah. It was so cool that I got in, I did my stuff that I had to do, and I dipped. That was it. As opposed to, oh, well, now I'm going to hit side raises, and now I'm going to hit chest presses. And it was like this, my workouts used to be this long, drawn out thing, and it doesn't need to be like that.
No.
I mean, you could speak on the gym. It's 50 minutes in and out.
Yeah. 50.
Well, that's what I love, and I want you to talk about this because that's what I loved about OG. I really did. I loved that I got in. I did what I was told.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I fucking left. And that was it. It was beautiful to be able to do that
Yep.
as opposed to sitting there and just going like this. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, if I do that, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. Okay, I guess I'll do that. It's just like, nope, there's the workout. Let's go. Get it going.
Do it, get in, get out. Yeah. And I think there's a balance, right? Like we tell people all the time, if you're in here 5, 6, 7 days a week, you're probably not going to hit your goals because your body's not recovering, right? So the nutrition piece is big, but the recovery piece is just as big sometimes as the working out piece. So you come into ISI and we warm up. We have to explain the workout. We have to explain the movements.
Which you like the warm up.
I like the warm up, man, because
Yeah.
the problem that other spots that I've gone to over the years is that, and even with Bev's when I would go train by myself, is the warm up was literally,
Yeah.
all right, let's go hit maxes.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're not really primed and ready to go yet.
Yeah.
Doing that jog in the parking lot with you guys. Nobody wants to jog cold like that, but you
No.
have to because it
Yeah.
warms the body up and it primes it for getting ready for movement.
Yeah.
That's why I like my Theragun too.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I've been using that more and more, and I've been doing it intentionally with the thought of flexibility and getting my body ready for movement. I'll do it on my lower back.
Yeah.
I get constant tendonitis from gripping the gis and just gripping everything. So it's like I get constant tendonitis in both arms. But I find that you use the Theragun, you open it up
Yeah.
before exercise,
Yes.
after exercise, promote blood flow.
Yeah. Well, and it takes away from the time that you're actually working out, but it's equally as important as working out because you're not going to get the benefits from your workouts. You're not going to go as deep as you can in your squats. You're not going to put up weight that you could be able to put up if you weren't warmed up. So our workout time is 30, 35 minutes max. You're in, you're out, and you're hitting different body parts every day of the week, but you're also repeating movements and it can feel boring, but that's how you get better at it. That's how you got better at squats, I'm sure. This whole past month, you were squatting a lot. It was probably boring at
5
points.
days a week.
Yeah. I
It was
mean,
tough. The first week was horrific. My buddy Dylan did it with me. He's like my little brother. Dylan did it with me. And the third day, he messaged me that morning. He just goes, "Oh, I can't walk. Like this is bad." And I said, "We have this program that we got to do today. Like
Yeah.
we have to push through."
Yeah.
Second week, you start going, "Okay, I'm fatigued, but fuck, my legs feel solid."
Yeah.
And the third week, you're just like, you're doing these workouts and you're not sore at all. The weight feels heavy, but you're not. You're just kind of like whatever. And then once I started hitting 315 for triples and then 4 or 5 reps, I was like, oh, it does work.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
you push through a PR.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Which our training is definitely more hit than going in and loading a bar and squatting. But I think it goes back to functional fitness is, the big term these days. But truly watching even my mom age, she's 69 years old. She comes and does an ISI workout. And my dad strapped up a dresser last week and she's pulling it like she's pulling a sled. So it's what's going to make me healthier? Let me live longer. Let me be stronger and live my life better every day.
Training for life.
That's
it.
And that's really what
Exactly.
it needs to be.
That's the motto,
That's our
actually,
motto.
of ISI.
Train for life.
ISI late training. What are you training for? Train for life.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really wanted to incorporate, listen, I bought this fantastic home gym.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's at my mom's house and I don't have access to it because she put a fucking bunch of boxes around it.
Karen.
You know what she said to me? I've said this a couple times. She calls me up one day. I was living at my other apartment and she just goes, "So this all this workout stuff in the gym, in the garage, we keeping this?" I went, "You are not touching it. That's like $10,000 worth of shit. Are you out of your mind?" Yeah, we're keeping it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Does she have the monkey kettlebell?
She's got everything.
She got it all.
All my kettlebells. She's got 500 pounds of calibrated steel Rogue plates.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I have a $2,000 Rogue monster rack in there.
And then you have
I've got the assault bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got all of the flooring, the stall mat flooring.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a landmine. I've got 2 powerlifting bars. I've got 1 Kabuki strength Cadillac bar, which Tyler and Gabe bought me for my birthday that year. It basically pivots in the closer you get to the middle, so this way you don't put as much stress on your shoulder.
Yep.
So I have that. I have literally every attachment you could ask for. I have kettlebells ranging from 10 pounds to 125 pounds. Yep. Yeah, we're fucking keeping it. You out of your mind?
It's not going to Goodwill.
No. And
Oh my God, yeah, that's somebody will buy it for $4.
Right?
What do you mean? That took 3 weeks to ship. That was peak COVID. I was
Lord.
miserable. I just wanted all my shit. So I want to train for jujitsu specifically, like Tom, sandbags, kettlebells, all this stuff. It's just, it's very, he'll say I'm making an excuse. I'm really not. Very tough to get down to him. He's all the way in Baldwin. It's very tough to get down to him with needy things in my life and work and things that I have to do.
Yeah.
So that's why Squattober was so welcome, because it's like, oh yeah, I need something again. I need like a little program that I could jump into. And that's why Dead December is going to be great. By the way, side note.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friends. Evan from OG did Squattober.
Okay.
He was
awesome.
messaging me every day like, this is fucking hell. I was like, yeah, man, get ready for Dead December.
That's awesome.
Get ready for Dead December. But I was talking to him and I go, yeah, I don't know why they don't do Bentuary. So he's like, yeah. So they put up that they were doing Dead December. And I said, and I messaged on Squattober page that they collaborated with Pen and Paper Strength, which is the strength and conditioning company that does the programming.
Okay.
I put it on the comment. I said, any reason we don't celebrate Bentuary? And Pen and Paper Strength literally goes, I mean, asking you to bench 5 days a week isn't really a challenge like squats. It's basically like asking you to eat ice cream every day. And I just went, all right, the truth hurts, but like I'd still like to do a Bentuary.
Yeah.
So Evan's laughing, whatever. Bro, he messages me like 3 days later. He goes, yo, can you believe this? Now coming soon, Bentuary.
Let's go, baby.
That's awesome.
I wrote on the post, I said, I'll accept my apology and a free t-shirt.
Let's go.
Thank you. Because that's bullshit.
That's awesome.
Some kid said Benchvember. I'm like, you're an asshole. Not Benchvember.
You get so many different variations.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do it for January or February.
Now, is it just a straight bench, or are you going to go different variations?
It's whatever they do.
Whatever they
Program.
do. Got it.
They do all the programming. It's fantastic.
How did it feel? How did it feel to be back at Bev's?
It felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good. I'm actually going to shoot some videos for Steve.
Okay, cool.
For Bev's.
Yep.
So that's going to be nice. I've been bouncing around to some of the gyms because I've been shooting some stuff with AN, Nick, and we're actually going to film a picture next week.
Awesome.
Mason from the Athletics.
Okay.
That's cool.
So I'm going to Pittsburgh next week with Karolakis to go film him because he's part of the team.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I'm allowed to announce that.
Sorry.
But it's out there.
Nikki
now.
K's the man. I like that guy.
Yeah, they've great products. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
AN stuff is really, really great products.
It's a nice water bottle.
Yeah, do not open that because I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's coffee or a protein shake. Yeah, there you go. So it's been good with them. I do some stuff with Condemned Labs, with shout out Mike and all the guys over there.
Yep.
So it's been good. I'm producing a podcast that I can't really talk about, which is with somebody that everybody knows. I'll tell you guys off air.
Beautiful.
It's cool.
So yeah, things are good. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you got Chicago that you're going to be doing. Are you going to do it with him?
I'll train with him.
Do it with him.
But okay, so here's the thing.
Come on, do it.
No, I wish. I know.
You don't have to wish. She's got plenty of time. She's got a
She
year.
does.
And I kept telling myself the energy, I will say, is, I mean, you look at people and like he said, all walks of life. Truly, I feel like I saw more people over the age of 50 than I did under the age of 50, which is inspiring in itself. But I told him I would train with him. And like, if I get to a point where I'm miserable, that's fine. I'll stop. But
I think you'll enjoy it
yeah,
because you are an athlete.
yeah,
You always have been.
yep,
And I believe that once you get into that mindset of like, oh yeah, we're doing this.
yeah,
You'll be right alongside him.
exactly.
All right, come on, babe, wake up. It's time to
Yeah.
go.
And they call it the marathon bug. You know, she thinks I'm crazy, but in 2 weeks I'm running the Charlotte half with a couple of people we know and stuff like that.
That's everything though.
Yeah.
I see it with High Rocks.
Yep,
I
yep.
see it with jiu-jitsu tournaments. I see it
Yeah.
with everything. You do it once and then you're just like everyone you see, it's like, okay, I'll sign up for this.
But the common thread is it's keeping you healthy. It's keeping you motivated. It's not like we're doing anything stupid or dumb. This is healthy stuff, you know, and I feel good doing it. You know, I look at running as prolonging my life. Every mile I run, I'm getting healthier. Not 31-year, almost said 28-year-old Vinny. 31-year-old
I do
Vinny.
that sometimes.
It's crazy.
I do that sometimes.
31-year-old Vinny. 75-year-old me is going to thank me. 80-year-old going to thank me, right? And that's why I train also to be a strong husband and a future father and a son and brother. But the big piece is I want to be on this earth as long as I possibly can. And that's why we tone down the diet. That's why we're going to keep going. You know, I have high cholesterol. I'm hoping to get off meds as soon as possible. I'm hoping the running is going to do that because that in itself, as you know, you've been there, you know, with the crazy stuff that you went through. You know, I don't want to be on medicine. But if right now they're telling me it's going to make me healthy, well, I'm going to find a better way, you know, because I don't want to put things in my body.
How are you eating?
We've cleaned everything up. I've lost
What does it mean when you say you've cleaned everything up?
whole foods, except for chocolate chips.
Yeah.
Except for the last couple of days, I've ate a lot.
That's
of pizza.
okay, but I'm saying generally, what are you eating each day?
Three egg bites
I make him egg bites.
Okay.
So he has egg bites every morning.
with spinach and
then
bacon.
usually beef and potatoes for lunch.
Yep.
You don't really snack.
Do you
No.
track your food?
I should. I have in the past, but
Oh, we had this conversation.
yeah, yep.
That was fucking
Yeah,
insane.
yep.
That was
She was doing it
insane
for
that
me.
Time.
Yeah, I know. You got mad at me.
I was flabbergasted. I wasn't mad at him. I was
I know.
speechless.
I know.
I said to him, I said, "Yo, track your food."
Yeah, yeah.
And he just goes, "Oh well, Leia does it for me." And
Yeah.
I went, What do you mean Layla does
Like
it?
I track my food, but I can't.
He's
I know.
like, "Oh no, well she tracks it for me." I go, "Well, what happens if you are out and you eat something?"
Yeah.
And you just message her, "Hey babe,
Oh,
I just had this. Can you log this for me?" I was like, "Nah, bro. We got to get on
Hey.
that tracking."
Yep.
She's a great wife at the end of the day. That's
Fantastic.
what that means.
That-
Yep.
Fantastic, because I would have, if I was your wife, I'd have been like, "Yo, brother,
I know.
get that app on your phone."
It's there. It's
Yeah,
there.
it's there. It's just dormant.
yeah, he paid for the year subscription.
know.
For which one?
Which one do we have? My Fitness Pal. My Fitness. I just got
I'm gonna jump out this fucking window.
My Fitness Pal.
My Fitness Pal.
Okay. I use my Macros Plus. I used to
Okay.
use my Fitness Pal. My Fitness Pal has a much better database
Okay.
of foods to
Yes.
scan the labels of.
Yeah.
But my Macros Plus I found was like more fun and more easily customizable for me to just be able to like track.
Yeah. I'll have to look at it.
It just kept it like real, like my remaining macros and macros I've eaten so far at the top.
Yep.
It just kept it very
Yep.
basic, but enough features that I felt like I was comfortable using it.
Yeah.
Versus my Fitness Pal, where it was like every other fucking fart was an ad from Under Armour. I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, I can't watch this shit anymore.
I have to Google how to like go in and change my macros if I want to. There's so
you
much.
have to pay
on
to
it.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was through just across the board, it was 18 pounds down through training and 4% body fat.
Yep.
I mean, it was just we cleaned it up.
Dropped 4.
4%.
What you leave? You still leave today?
We leave tonight. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say you should have gotten a DEXA scan while you were home. I shoot
been cool.
content for DEXA.
Ah.
I would have loved to have had you guys go in there.
Oh yeah.
Next time.
Next
When
time.
are you coming back up for the holidays at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll set that up.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
I'll have you guys come in.
That'd be
I'll,
awesome.
I'll film you guys for
Yeah.
content for them.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they'll do so. The cool thing about DEXA, here's a little plug.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Brian at DEXA. Brian's a phenomenal guy, man.
Yeah.
He really does just want to help people.
Yep.
And it started out as him owning DEXA for that like branch of Woodbury that he was in, Syosset Woodbury. And he has expanded since then into doing DEXA scans, VO2 max, RMR, so resting metabolic rate.
Yep.
Now he just invested in red light therapy. So he has a whole red light bed that you lay in for like 10 minutes, recharge your body.
Yep.
He has the oxygen therapy. So you
Like that chamber you get in.
Well, no, you run on the treadmill.
Yes.
You run on the treadmill, they put the mask on you and you breathe all of the like 90% oxygen as you run. So this way your body gets, basically electrified of like real oxygen.
Yeah.
I forget the percentage that you actually breathe in when you're just breathing, but it's very low comparative to 90% pure oxygen.
Yep.
And so, him and that team, his team is called Prefusion down in Belmore. They're phenomenal, but they do a lot of this like biohacking, metabolic stuff. They'll run blood panels for you and tell you all of your minerals and everything like that. They'll do really deep dives into health.
Yeah.
Which this is where healthcare is kind of going.
Yeah.
It's going into the privatized side because people don't trust the mainstream doctors
Yeah.
that got their degrees from companies that funded their schools. And of course, they're going to be biased towards that. Oh, my student loans are paid off by XYZ. And then there'll be doctors that say, oh, that never happens. It's like, all right, well, maybe not to you, bro. But I'm sure there are outliers. So it's pretty cool. But we'll have to get you guys the DEXA scan because the DEXA scan will talk to you, will give you the metrics of mass and your total mass, any type of visceral fat around the organs, which is the fat that you want to watch. It'll give you your body fat percentage. It'll show you skeletal bone health, everything like that.
Sweet.
Very interesting.
That's awesome.
And the cool thing is, if you get a scan in November or whatnot, and then you come back
Yeah.
and do another marathon, let's say you train for the next year or whatever, you get the scan, they keep your original results. So you
Oh,
can
cool.
compare and contrast.
Sweet.
How much body fat did you drop? Did you lose any muscle? Did you this, that? It's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So we'll get you guys to do that.
Yeah.
So we
Good.
So the Chicago Twins, you guys both gonna do Chicago.
Hey, I'm gonna push her, and I think obviously running for another great cause with the American Cancer Society again will be a little.
You could do a 5K right now, right?
Oh
Yeah.
we did it. She was my 5K master.
Yeah.
I mean, she would run the track with me, which obviously running on the track, if it's not fun, it's just
No,
circle.
it sucks. It's just
But the footwork and how hard it is to run on a track versus the street was awesome. But yeah, she was side by side with me. I mean, she rode her bike, and yeah, I mean, it was great to have her a part of that training piece. It was awesome.
You said you're doing which marathon when you get home?
So the Charlotte half in 2 weeks.
How long is a half marathon?
It's 13.1.
How long is a 5K? 3?
3.12, 15, 3.1, yeah,
Yeah.
3.1.
Would you do that with him? The Charlotte half?
No,
I think you
feel
need
like
more
it's
time to
too
train.
soon.
Yeah, you need more time.
I think a 10K
yeah, 6.
would, yeah,
Yeah,
that would
that
probably
for
be
sure.
the best next step.
All right, so I think you guys should look for one.
Yeah.
I'm pressuring
That's what I'm saying. 100%. She'd be great. She'd be great.
I don't like the cold, so that's my problem too.
Yeah,
like
running
it was
outside now is gonna
unusually
suck.
warm for yesterday's marathon, so I'm thinking about Chicago in October, and
Windy City, baby.
yeah, it's gonna be a little frigid.
I'm gonna make it a good weekend though. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I got to go to Chicago in 3 weeks.
Awesome.
High Rocks.
Yeah,
I'm filming one of the guys there.
that's sweet. Have you done High Rocks?
No.
No.
Fuck that.
I can't get into that.
Fuck that.
Not yet.
I'm so good on that.
Yeah.
Watch, I may eat my own words.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Here he is. High
Next
Rocks.
year.
He's
Yeah,
coming.
right?
I know I said that I wasn't going to do it, but here I am. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any interest.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in it. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I get gassed up by seeing other people do their thing and compete. Like I see you train for a marathon and a bunch of other people I know that ran the marathon, and I sit there and I go, oh, should I train for something like that?
yeah.
And then I think about my respective sport, and once again, I have the internal debate of I really want to compete, but I don't want to get injured. Marina,
Yeah.
she was getting ready for High Rock Chicago, and she did Tunnel of Towers, and she had to make a maneuver and kind of pivot around a kid that stopped short in front of her,
Oh,
and she broke her
man.
leg.
Yeah, that
So
that was the
cute.
piece yesterday, man. Like just even, I mean, so I hug and kissed them twice out of the 4 times I saw them. When I got to them the last 2 times, I was like, I can't stop. Like she threw me a water bottle. I caught it, had a sip, kept drinking it.
Now, what was
tossed
it? You were following him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
tracking.
You could track him?
Yep.
we could track him, and
Yeah.
then like I had, have his like iPhone location or whatever. But he kind of had it laid out what mile he wanted to see us at, and like where he would need some nutrition and water, whatever.
Oh, like the gel packs? Did
Well,
they help?
No, so this is great. Shout out to Uncrustables.
Like
Uncrustables.
Nutrilife.
Yeah, well,
Uncrustables.
yeah, so
Help.
Layla's definitely allergic to all nuts. So
That's right. That's why you have to fly Delta.
Yep. That's why we
Fuck
do
you,
it.
Delta.
Yeah, screw you, Delta. American Airlines,
I'm just
first
joking.
class only.
I'm joking,
No, I'm
Delta.
just
I wanna
kidding.
sponsor the podcast.
Yeah.
She's going to be off after this episode.
Get the
She's gonna
kid
come back
around.
to
Send the check. Send the check.
Flight's not free.
No. So we went with what was this brand called? This was
I think Nutrilife.
Nutrilife, yeah. So it was sun butter and jelly, and I would have one every 3 to 4 miles. And so
You
I
didn't
started,
feel like that was too much in your stomach running?
no, because I had a whole
Zach's
routine.
motivated him,
Yeah,
probably.
I was motivated to eat, man. Because again, think about all the calories you're burning. Your body, I've never done that before. 4,000 something calories in that span is unbelievable. So my body was asking. I also had GU. Shout out to GU. I was eating their gummies. The gels for me, the texture and the way they tasted was not.
What
for
is
me.
the texture like? I've never tried it.
I couldn't. I want to say like a slushy, but like it was a little bit. I don't know.
Like warm, probably.
Yeah, warm. I just no. We went with the Uncrustables, and then we went with the GU Chewies, which was like 90 calories per 6 of them.
Do you know who Nick Bear is?
Yeah, so I used his supplements.
Yeah.
Yep. I used his electrolytes. Yep. BPM. Amazing. Thank you.
My buddy Josh used to
Phenomenal.
film for Nick in Texas, and I met Nick
Nick.
before he blew up.
Nick's
I met Nick
yeah.
at his warehouse in Texas.
Really?
And we trained at
Yeah.
his gym.
Yeah.
And he was, super nice guy. This is before. he was big.
The way
but he didn't pop off yet like he
Yeah.
is now.
Yeah.
Very, very down to earth, dude. we gotta give credit where credit's due.
Oh,
Those are the electrolyte
Yep.
packs, right?
So I have his
Shove them in the waters,
Yep.
toss
So
them water.
He was my electrolytes, and then he has the electrolytes plus the carbohydrates. So I took that before an hour before the race, and that was 350 grams of sodium. And then I forgot what the carb intake is, but he was that, and I got to shout him out. Human Nutrition through ISI. They were my protein and my creatine throughout training. But so those were the 2 supplements that I used. I mean, it was great. Nick does his content is unbelievable. His
content's great.
The way he moves for his size, unbelievable.
Big boy.
Unbelievable.
Big boy.
And it's just very motivating. And I would watch it, throughout runs and stuff like that. He does a great job.
Yeah, he's nasty with it. He's a very nice, humble dude.
Yep.
Ex-military.
Yep. Obviously a big piece why I followed
I don't know if they there's some people that hate when you say ex-military
Yeah.
because we're veterans now.
Veterans,
I'm
yes.
like, all right, I
Yeah.
get it. So, I mean, no disrespect, baby.
No.
disrespect.
He knows we love him. But yeah, it was great. Obviously, I would love for Layla to run and be a part of that one day. But yeah, Chicago 25, man. Chicago 25. But I can't wait to get back to ISI and start lifting. I can't wait.
It's good.
I miss it.
Are you gonna do December?
Hey, I don't.
You gotta stay committed. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it
You
every
have
day.
to. Well, I got to talk to Phil then, our head of coaching. I got to tell him we got to add some more deadlifts
every day.
every day.
Well, you can
every
do
day.
it. Just you
Yeah.
just can't train. I mean, I don't think. What's the heaviest weight you guys have there?
So we got new barbells.
Like real barbells.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had like the little short ones.
Yeah, we got the big ones now. Yep, upgraded.
Couldn't tell you what
What?
What type
the
of
max
barbells?
would be.
So
I mean,
we could probably go. Well, they're 35-pound barbells. They're big though, right? The barbells are 35.
they're the short Olympic ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get real.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to like a spot, like an actual like strength
Yeah.
training spot.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Which you have plenty down there.
Yeah.
I like
sure.
that gym that we went to that day.
You went? You liked it?
I like that gym. That was fun.
Where'd you guys go?
Which one?
Court
Poppy
24?
gym. I was hitting on the girl at the front counter.
Was it like?
Oh, did
they
you
have,
go to
like,
Court
the-
24?
Yes.
Yeah.
You went
They
to
have like
Court
the
24.
neon signs on the
Yeah,
walls.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful gym in Charlotte.
been.
Yeah. I mean, people rave about it when they
Yeah.
go. It's clean. It's clean.
It was cool.
They got all the best
I'll
stuff.
tell you what, they had a lot of Arsenal stuff.
Yep.
I hit on the girl at the front counter. I got hit on by one of the gay guys at the
Yep.
gym.
Hey, welcome
was good.
to Charlotte.
Yeah. He's like, you're down from New York. He's like,
Yeah.
you see you around here more
Yeah.
often. I'm like, wow, you're trying to get me moved down here too.
That's it.
Along with Vinny.
I told them all.
Yeah, he just told everybody. He was awesome.
But no, that was it. Yeah.
Are you gonna do December?
If he does, I'm in.
All right, come on, let's go.
I'll do
We
it.
got to do it. We got to find a gym.
Yeah, you do it just for the month. I joined Bev's back just for the
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go.
probably have a gym membership
I know.
somewhere in our bank
Somewhere.
account. We probably
Yeah.
pay for it somewhere.
All right. Let's just get a barbell and put it in the garage.
We have one.
Yeah, but
We
it's
actually-
gonna be more.
Do we?
It's gonna be more than that.
Yeah.
They do accessory work and whatnot.
Okay.
I'll show you.
All
you
right.
guys.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Listen, I want to be respectful of you guys' time.
No, you're good.
We're an hour and 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
How?
It goes quick.
Yeah.
Nobody ever notices that. It goes quick. You guys got a lot of stuff to do before you leave today. I want to show you guys the apartment and,
Yeah.
and we'll go walk.
Yes.
But I'll carry him.
Yeah.
But
He needs a right foot.
first and foremost,
Yeah.
I love you guys. I
love you.
appreciate
Love
you
you.
guys coming and hanging out.
Thank you.
Chopping it up.
This was awesome.
Congratulations
Yeah.
on the marathon. The first
You
of
just bite
many.
it.
Yeah.
The first of many.
Bite it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is. Is it like it real?
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Here.
It's not plastic.
I'm biting right where you bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Right?
This is awesome. And what do you have to do to get your shit engraved?
Well, that's,
We need to figure it out.
I'm sure your dad knows how to do it.
Well, they didn't offer this as a
Down
service.
his workshop.
I'm sure we could send it in somewhere. Yeah, I don't know.
There's got to be
You
instructions.
know
Why did
everything.
they not have like an engraving?
I would think there would be someone at the finish line. Or,
Yeah.
Right?
I was blacked out.
Time. Name. Okay, here you go. Next. Like fucking thousand
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
Yep. I know.
That's awesome. First of many. That's exciting.
Yep.
And if you guys want to put your social handles, if anybody wants to get in touch with you guys
Ladies
in the North
first.
Carolina area, come
Yeah.
in for a workout.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
sure you're going to have your people listen to it back home too.
Yeah.
So
It's at ISI Dilworth.
ISI Dilworth.
ISI Dilworth. Yep.
And what's your tag?
Layla T. Orlando.
Say it louder.
I don't know if I...
Layla T. Orlando.
Hey, now.
Missus. The missus.
Yes.
I love it.
That was a great wedding.
It's a great feeling.
Great wedding. We had a great time.
103 degrees outside, but we partied it up afterwards. I
Are
know.
you hot?
Oh man.
I know.
I just, you know what? Everybody was like, the conversation was generally, they're just like, yo, it's going to be hot. And I just go, oh, no. He knows that it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
And we're wearing these suits.
Mm-hmm.
I am fully prepared to sweat through this suit.
Yep.
And I don't care.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, if I don't sweat through this suit, there's something wrong with me.
Hey, we did a good job with them though. They didn't.
What?
Nope. They didn't show through pictures. Nothing.
I didn't see anything in pictures.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I didn't, it was my back.
Yeah.
It was covered for that
Yeah.
time. Yeah. And then once the dancing started, that was
Yep.
it. It was like,
Yeah.
Game
Game
over.
it
over.
was gone.
Yeah.
The mozzarella.
And then everybody started like touch. I was like, don't. I'm like, it's drenched.
Yeah.
Don't touch
Yep.
me. I promise. It's gross.
Girls couldn't keep their hands off of you.
Oh, it's so crazy. They were just like, oh, Nick.
Charlotte girls, come get your boy Nicky Rizzo.
Oh, man. Give me a job and then we'll talk about getting me down there. Get me a job. Mr. Vinny,
Yeah.
social handles, anything?
At Coach VO20. That's it. At Coach VO20. I try to be as motivational as possible, and that's it. She's got the gym, coaching a ton, and teaching.
That's it, bro. Well, I think this is going to be, I always am, dude, I am
What episode you're in?
bad at this. Well, because I recorded on Friday with Big Baby and all the guys and Jamal,
Yeah.
Fab. So I just, I always say the wrong episode and then I'm making the thumbnail and I go, oh God, you said it was this and it's not.
Yeah.
I think it's 118. Let's see if
Nice.
I'm right.
That
118.
equals 20.
That would be awesome.
How fucking cool
That's
that
my number.
Make it
Yep.
equal 20.
We were trying to find my bib number as 20. She found a way to get it. I think it was 60,277.
Yeah, this will be
59.
118.
Let's go 20. We
This
found
will be
it.
118. That makes
My number.
sense.
That's my number.
That's your number.
That's my number.
So this is going to be episode 118. If you guys learned something, had fun, didn't like something, I don't know. I'm gonna fucking tell you. Comment, roast me. Don't roast them. They're amazing. Like, comment, share with people that you think may enjoy the episode. I appreciate everybody for fucking with us. But for now, peace.
Peace.